Hello. Testing, testing. There we go. That seems to have worked. Sorry, it deselected my microphone. How's everyone doing? Welcome to another Tinfoil Spotlight stream. Today we're going to be looking at the newest news on the fallout of Will Duffy's final experiment, and that is Jeranism renouncing the flat earth. Jeranism is one of the more popular flat earthers. His channel is at 165,000 subscribers, and he has now renounced flat earth. Now, before you start celebrating, he has not joined real life, where people understand that the earth is round. However, at the very least, there is a severe disconnect between him and the flat earth community. So, this should be interesting to take a listen to, see what his grievances are, see what we can glean about the conspiratorial mind. Anna, congrats on starting HRT. That's so exciting. I know how exciting that can be. It's great. Hell yeah. Make sure you put them under your tongue. No, that's not advice. Take as your doctor directed, obviously. Jason Proxy says, if Jaren sticks with this, I'll at least respect him a tiny bit. Not much, but some. Yeah, the thing is, he didn't change his mind because it showed he was wrong. He changed his mind because his former friends started dogpiling on him. And I'm glad either way. Either way, no matter what, it's good when someone gets further away from a cult. But it is a little disappointing to see that it's never reality that breaks through. It's just an issue with the social interior of the cult. Ugh. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look. Did I see your highlight? Let's see. I did, about the cigarettes thing. That's interesting. All right, so let's get into it. Why can I not hear this? Hold on. Did it change my headphone output? No, that should be good.
Well,
there he is.
Well. Welcome to the show, everybody. It is time for Jeranism FU Friday Unplugged. Welcome. We've got a couple errors here we're going to clean up.
Hey, Ash.
I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. My wife is not feeling great, and I was taking care of the kids today. So, didn't get to everything I wanted to get to, but we are ready to go. Hopefully you guys are here. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat. Some people friends, some people foe, I'm pretty sure. Let's see who's here. It's moving pretty fast. Wes, Fe, what's up?
Hey, Just a Peach, how you
How's
doing?
it going?
Hey,
We
Talons.
got Shovelhead Steve says, welcome back to the globe. Thank you very much, Shovelhead Steve, for that. Run Boston Bear.
You remember when Jeranism and Armored Skeptic have beef? Is Armored Skeptic still doing the conspiracy theory thing? Lucas Dawn with 105 stream streak says 105. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's more streams than I've been present in a row for, I'm pretty sure.
The house. We've got Hermit Jack, 1 hour late. Is that right? Yeah, 40 minutes. That's right. Who's counting? What's up? Karen B in the house. Karen, big fan of Eric Dubé, who actually did win the award last week, if you weren't watching.
Hey, Freyline.
For Shill of the Decade. So we have the first ever. Let me bring this up for you so you can get excited about this.
Oh, by the way, tomorrow Cassifel and I are supposed to do a stream together. We haven't planned anything specific. We'll probably just chat. Whenever Cassifel and I get together, I don't know, we both have the right kind of, like, ADHD brains that seem to click perfectly, where our nonsense flows. So we're probably just going to hang out and talk about whatever pops into our silly little heads. So if you're a fan of me, Cassifel, either, both, check that out.
Coming up in just a little bit, the first ever, let me get this on the screen for you. There we go. We've got the first ever 2024 You Stink Flatulence Awards coming. Can you even imagine how great that's going to be? I cannot. Do we need a little music back there? There we go. There it is. Look at, isn't it exciting? Looking forward to it. We've got some great awards to give away. Some great categories. Who will win best pronunciation of the word compass? Who will win? Is that how it works? Yeah.
Skipping past that bit, because it's not relevant.
Sounds good. Yeah. Just making sure the hat's straight. I'm going to take this one. There we go. Okay, see how good, right? Okay, see how you can read it? Good. Just making sure.
There it is.
Making sure if I'm going to be called a shill, I might as well wear the shill hat. Because why not? Who cares? please don't go on to promote other conspiracies. You're just going to be wrong about those as well. Thank you you are mocked. I didn't say I was going to do that, but thanks for that vote of confidence. I do appreciate it.
He's so
What
mad.
I plan to do in the future is a little bit different than people might suspect. Number one thing is that this show right here will continue, at least for the foreseeable future. It will be called Jeranism Friday Unplugged, Jeranism FU, and that is the place that you will find me on Fridays at 3 p.m. If you don't want to find me here, block me now. Get out of the channel, block the channel. You never have to see me again. It's very easy.
So for those who don't know why Jeranism is acting so defensive, basically the entire Flat Earth community has turned against him since the final experiment thing. They're also not big fans of Witsit, who also went, although Witsit is trying to kind of bend the knee a little bit and be conciliatory so he can stay in the good graces of the community. Jeranism, not all about that. He's kind of pissed off. He's pissed off that people are calling him a liar. He's pissed off people are saying they didn't actually go to Antarctica.
Very simple. It's the way it should work in life. And if you do want to watch, I think that you might learn something, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and slowly as fast as I can, kind of eliminate a lot of my old videos that I no longer feel are pertinent or are correct or no longer in line with my current thoughts. Now, at one time, I thought for sure that there was no 24-hour sun in the South. Now, what I've been shocked at is the people that have, number one, come out and said it doesn't matter. Number two, the people that say that the observations that we made were fake. Or three, it's a nothing burger. Or four, that, as I just heard Dustin Nemo say recently, that all flat maps call for the 24-hour sun in the South. So
that's so funny to me that they just say stuff. Like, as many years as I've been doing this, and I've dealt with conspiracy theorists and the strange mental gymnastics that they tend to pull, I am still shocked when they say something that is just pure gaslighting. The idea that all flat Earth maps have predicted this is objectively wrong. And we've all witnessed it through our watching the Flat Earth videos over the last 4 years or whatever, 4 or 5 years. We know that's not the case. We have clips of all of the big Flat Earthers saying they don't think there's a 24-hour sun in the South Pole or at Antarctica. Yet here we are. Now they're claiming, oh, we predicted that all along. It's just... I don't know how within the Flat Earth community you don't see the whiplash. You don't see that we haven't always been at war with East Asia. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of maddening. Trey says, so I'm going to ask this here and again at the end of the stream. Do you think he's known it's round for a while and this is his way out with dignity, or is it a legit breaking point and he realized it's round? To be clear, he is not claiming it's round. He is just saying he's not... He would probably consider himself somewhat of an Earth-shape agnostic, which is still obnoxious, so he hasn't let go of the conspiracy thing altogether. He's just looser on the flat Earth thing. And I would still say that this is like a... I would still say this is a final straw sort of thing for him, because he was also in the Behind the Curve documentary. I don't know if you guys remember the clip of the group of flat earthers that did the experiment with the lights, and the like hole cut in the cardboard. He was one of the people that did that. So, like, I think he's been chipping away at this belief for a while, for years even, and it just finally got to the point where he's like, I can't do this, and also now I don't even have the social support of the community, which was probably helping him stay within it. Miss Quilanius, thanks for a 10-stream streak, says at least he's starting to realize he's wrong. We all know the Earth is a giant D1... Excuse me, a giant D100, and we all just keep rolling ones somehow. Tea-Time T says, this is why most of the big flat Earth people refused to go. They knew they'd either have to jump through impossible hoops to justify what they were seeing, or they'd get cancelled by other flat Earth people, which is funny because in and of itself, that's kind of an indication that they aren't as confident in their beliefs as they let on. But, whatever. In fairness, Dave Weiss is... He has a lot of monetary incentive to keep his thing going, considering he's allegedly made over $500,000 on his Flat Earth app. Hydrate, can do.
Here's the thing that I'm afraid that you guys aren't seeing. Okay? You are being lied to by not just the mainstream, but now you're being lied to by the very people that you watch.
You see how he can't let go of, like, you're being lied to by the mainstream? He's still a conspiracy theorist. He still doesn't believe that the Earth is, like, what they say it is. You know what I mean?
Now, Jaron, what are you trying to say? You're the most honest flat earther that there is? Yes.
It's the most humble one, too.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Jaron, that's really cocky of you. I don't care. I've seen from everybody else just garbage, nonsense, attaching themselves to the most ridiculous ideas. I mean, we could go and look at a couple things to start it out. Speaking of ridiculous ideas, remember that you are part of this group. Okay, when I say I'm no longer a flat earther, which, by the way, if you haven't figured that out yet, I no longer will consider myself a flat earther because of the group that associates you with, number one. And number two, I can no longer hold that opinion considering I showed myself evidence that it's not possible. Now, could I be wrong? As I've said a million times, absolutely, you can be wrong all the time. So you would think that maybe somebody would come along and show me that I'm wrong. But I have an issue. I don't think anybody will be able to do that because nobody's been able to do it thus far. What do you mean by that? Well, I mean that you'll hear people now say, oh, Lady Blunt, she said that there was a 24-hour sun in the south back in 1870 or 95, whatever. But you'll notice that from that date to now, no one's come up with another map. Nobody. And I want you guys to understand what it does, what it tells you when you do what I did. And you can do it too. That's the other thing. And I want to put out a bet too. I want to put out a bet somehow and let flat earthers put their, because I'm not even sure they believe what they say they do anymore. I don't even think they'll just change it. Have you not noticed? Nobody believes anything. You don't have to believe anything when you're in flat earth. You don't have to believe anything because you don't have a model. We don't have a map. You just kind of just go through it. And if something comes up that doesn't match our worldview, we just kind of say it was fake and move on to the next thing and say, water lies flat.
It's an astute observation. It's absolutely how flat Earth works. We've seen this time and time again. They claim something, an experiment or observation proves it wrong, they move the goalposts. But why suddenly is Jeranism able to see it? Why? Is it simply because he's on the other side of it? It's gotta be. It's gotta be simply that. For the first time, he sees a reflection of his own behavior in these other flat earthers. Weirdly, he doesn't seem to fully grasp this yet. Like, he seems to maybe intuitively understand it, but I don't think he's really thought about it. Because he still claims, like, the moon landing's fake and stuff like that. It'll come up in this video. He'll compare the final experiment to the moon landing and say, like, yeah, the moon landing's fake, but, like, we had way more cameras than the moon landing. And it's like, okay, more people worked on the moon landing, though, Jaren. So it's interesting that he is able to recognize he actually went to Antarctica. And yet all these flat earthers are saying it's fake and a hoax and false flag, whatever. But he isn't able to reflect and see that that's the same thing he's doing with the moon landing. He's yet to internalize it and externalize it back out to his own behavior. It's strange.
That's what happens. That's what this community does. That's what this group of people do. And it's scary because what it does is it tells you that we will never get anywhere. And that's one thing I want you guys to realize right away. If you are a flat earther or in the flat earth or following flat earthers, I'm just telling you, I've been in this for 10 years. It's going nowhere. Now, you can let Dave Weiss tell you that it's going to hit the mainstream tomorrow. You can let anybody tell you that. Here's the problem with that, is that it will never hit mainstream until you can better explain reality than the globe. Now, I thought that we could. Hey, we don't feel like we're spinning. Flat Earth says we're not spinning. Hey, we don't feel like we're flying through space. Flat Earth says we're not. Hey, I don't feel like we're on a ball. I don't feel like the vacuum next to the atmosphere works. And so I thought that Flat Earth better explained it.
He still doesn't seem to understand any of that evidence or his incorrect assumptions about it.
But we have to be able to explain the sun.
No, you didn't miss too much Italian Shakespeare.
And it cannot be explained. Now, you might be thinking right now, the same thing every flat earther's told me, which is just more proof of what I'm saying. If you're thinking right now, but Joe Hanvey's model shows it. You haven't looked at Joe Hanvey's model. You haven't.
Joe Hanvey is the guy that we watched debate Will Duffy a few days ago, or whenever that was. He has the sort of like a plexiglass flat earth model that he's been working on. He's the one that had the weed cake for his 40th birthday. H. Baird says, I heard somewhere that when leaving cults, it takes 1 year for every decade you are in the cult to fully recover. Might be interesting to do the math and check in on him. Yeah, that'd be a year. He's been in flat earth for about a decade. Almost exactly, I think, so.
Paid attention to his videos, it does not show it. Oh, but every flat map calls for it. Nope. If you're talking about people taking globe math, putting it on top of a flat map and saying that it works, I'm going to show you tonight why these people are lying to you. Now, how long will it take you to figure it out? I don't know. Now, does it mean that, oh, then, Jaren, are you saying that the flat earth can't be right because these guys... Nope, I'm saying that I don't want to be part of a community that accepts the kind of bullshit that these guys have been putting out. If you think the Antarctica trip was in any way fake, you are retarded.
I hate how the flat earth community throws that word around a lot. Sorry about that.
There's too much evidence. And for those of you out there saying, oh, but you would have said the same thing.
No, we're not doing strikes on this video. This is the one video we're watching today.
I wouldn't.
So there are no strikes.
There's a difference between saying the moon landings are fake. When there was one camera from NASA played on a CRT TV screen where the media had to come in and film off the TV screen.
It's that long? Yeah, this is a 5-hour, 45-minute stream. We're almost certainly not watching the entire thing.
Okay, everybody in their controller desks were, as Gene Krantz said, they didn't know the difference between real and test data. This is totally different. This is 10 people or 9, whatever it was, in Antarctica, live streaming. Live streaming. You can't even find live streams from Antarctica from anybody else besides the group that went there. I don't want to say only me because obviously Toon and all those guys did too. But what I'm saying is what we did was impressive. And yet nobody's ever going to say that. They're just...
It's a little funny that on some level, this is at least a little bit fueled by him not getting recognition for going and doing a thing. What we did was impressive. I mean, like, it's impressive to go to Antarctica. Did you do that? You went. Will set it up and paid for it, but like, whatever. Sure, fine. If that's what you need, that's fine, Jaren.
It's going to keep saying that there's no... I mean, people are looking at 720 footage and saying like, oh, there's no footprints in the... I mean, just ridiculous. Yesterday, somebody posted a video that showed me eating my soup and said that because a split second, the soup said, pollo, for something about with chicken. They said, no, that was my ode to Apollo. That, I'm not kidding. I kid you not. That is what was said. And this is just, it's getting disgusting.
It wasn't impressive. It was expensive. Anyone can do it. It's just a matter of money. That's probably a good way to put it. I would say some of the experiments that some of the Round Earth people planned were impressive. Those plans were impressive. But just going on a trip someone else paid for is like fun. It's great. It's even like laudable in the sense that he was going to test his own belief. But is impressive. Now I'm just being petty. I don't know. Is this the first year they had a Starlink to do it? Yes. This is the first year they've had Starlink at Union Glacier, which is the camp where they went. So you'll probably see more live streams and stuff from, Antarctica from other people who visit over time. Sure, you'll see, like, when they were leaving, for instance, there was a marathon that was like an Antarctic marathon that goes every year. You'll probably see videos from that next year or other events that go there. Yeah. Internet in the South Pole is a recent thing.
Nobody should allow these people to say the things that they've said.
Hey, Densetsu.
Friends of mine throw me under the bus and then they answer, oh, well, I just was asking questions. Yeah, I know you were. That's the problem. That's the problem. So I want you just to listen to something from here. This is from the great pastor,
We worship you, Lord.
Oh, Dinodal, we worship you, O Lord,
Dinodal.
Jesus. And
Yeah, we played this on yesterday's Tinfoil Tuesday, this pastor's flat earth sermon.
But again, here's the problem. The other thing is the problem with Christianity and the fact...
Nice, Densetsu. We got a pizza oven for Christmas from one of Baja's family members, and it's incredible. It's wonderful.
Fact that they have attached themselves to this movement, and they will not let it go. And what happens then is that we have to accept nonsense from these guys like Dinodal. You know what Dinodal's excuse is for this? Do you know why I saw the sun?
Satan.
Any ideas why I
Satan.
saw the sun? Why was I able to see the sun in the south? Anybody know? Well, I'll tell you. I'm going to find him where he says it here. I got to put that in. Okay. Let's see here. There's lots of places he says it here. All right. Oh, there we go. Let's play this. How about here? Watch this. Gonna bring you over. Let's go to here.
There we go. I had some hair
Check
stuck
this out.
in my headphone.
And you tell
I
me
thought
if
it looked a little weird.
If this is something that you stand behind, and I guess it is because you have to, and that's the problem. You should be able to think for yourself.
Your jelly of that pizza oven. It's been great. Because, takeout pizza is so expensive now. I haven't gotten it in so long. But you can go get, a frozen pizza dough at the supermarket for, $2. Get some sauce. And make it on, a home pizza oven. And it tastes just like a pizza from, a professional pizza place. It's really good.
But let's hear.
You don't think so?
Trey says, I think that for him, he's realizing the degree to which many members of the Flat Earth community believe an individual can control every bit of circumstance on a minute-to-minute basis in their day-to-day life. But I don't understand, I guess, how he didn't see that before, because he was engaging in the same kind of thing when he's talking about, anything else that's faked. NASA being fake. I guess I don't see how he doesn't have the ability to be outside of himself and, be in someone else's shoes. He seems to be very bad at it.
Satan could pull that off? Oh, yeah. And let me tell you something.
Oh, let's listen again.
The sun moved in a circle around them in Antarctica. Let me just go and tell you right now. You don't think Satan could pull that off?
Satan.
Oh, yeah. And let me tell you something else.
Now it's Satan who disguised himself as a ball of light and circled me in Antarctica because these guys are desperate. Why would somebody say that unless it did matter? Remember, people said it doesn't.
Oh, I understand how it functions. I know what he's doing, Trey. I'm just how does he not in this situation now realize that what they are doing to him is what he has done to others? It's the lack of the ability to translate his personal experience into a broader understanding of his own actions and what they appear like to others from the other side.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the sun does, Jaron. We can't decide the shape of the ground. How many times have I told you how wrong that is? How many people keep saying it?
Everyone, F in chat for the boy. Tomorrow morning, he has an appointment to go get fixed. Sorry, boy. He will have the cone of shame, almost certainly.
Ridiculous. Nobody's saying that because of the lights in the sky, we can tell the shape of the ground. We are saying that the lights in the sky have a very...
Antarctica live stream when we find a different rich person to send me to Antarctica.
Predictable, and by very, I mean precise, and I mean by for the last thousands of years. The lights in the sky have a predictable motion that we know and we understand.
You think if I slipped the vet an extra 20, they'd... Hold on, I'm chewing on that joke before I decide if I want to say the rest of it. You think if I slipped the vet a 20, they'd also fix me? Save me some hospital bills.
It's called the Tropic of Cancer, Capricorn, equinox. The sun varies
hats
in between
off.
Those ranges.
What do you want me to wear, Bumble Homestead, for the hats off?
It's above the people's heads at each spot for a certain part of the year. So we know what the frickin' sun does. That's what's important. Once you know what something does, thank you very much. I'll be checking super chats in 1 second. Wait, as soon as you know what the thing on the ceiling does.
Purple and or comfortable? Oh, it's been a while since I wore the witch hat.
Okay, let's say you're in your bedroom. It doesn't matter where you're at. If something on the ceiling does a predictable pattern, and you get to know that pattern, okay, I get it. Then if you have a map, and that map you look at the map and you try and jive it with that motion of the ceiling, you can disprove, okay, you can falsify a map. Because if the map that you're looking at doesn't coincide with the known motion of the things in the sky, then that map cannot be correct. It's that simple. Why is this difficult? Why is this difficult? Okay. Now, the map that I have promoted for 9 years, 10 years, the AE map, which I thought worked and doesn't. Okay. It is now fatally flawed. And I just don't understand why, when we got back, why people couldn't just say, all right, good point. It's flawed. The map is flawed. So let's go back to the drawing board. Let's stop being so cocky. But no, that's not what happened. People said it was fake. Half of them said it was fake. Half of them said it doesn't matter. What happened with Eric Dubé? Eric Dubé started out by saying, oh, well, this is...
Sorry, I'm looking for it. Benikagami says, be petty, Hannah. These CTs are always going, no one has an explanation for our question. Answers question. Isn't it weird they keep trying to shut us down with this fabricated evidence? It's the same with conservatives. Isn't it weird that all of a sudden there are so many gay trans people? Why have I never heard of this before? Literally any attempt to talk about GSRM people in the past. Stop trying to shove your satanic perversions in our face. No one wants to see that.
It's actually not even...
Jaren has not accepted the world is round, but he's not a flat earther anymore.
a big deal if
it's a step.
Circles. Because Lady Blount said it did. Even though she says later, we can't explain this, we have no explanation for it, we just are admitting it's a fact. But you notice that Eric Dubé, who probably knew that when he wrote his 200 proofs, he left that out and actually put the proofs in that said that the sun didn't circle in the south. Then as soon as we said, hey, we're going to go down there and look at it.
It's almost like Eric Dubé's full of shit and a plagiarist. Plagiarized Zetetic astronomy, which in fairness is in the public domain. Shitty, though.
He said, oh, it does circle in the south. And you guys accept it. So there's going to be a trend tonight that I want you to notice. It's whatever flat earthers say, flat earthers accept. And whatever goes against our model, flat earthers call fake. And they think they're in some sort of power position. This is the thing that got me the most upset, is the cockiness of flat earthers where there is none deserved. There's none deserved. Just going around saying we don't have a model, we don't have a map, does not make you able to be cocky.
That is funny.
We don't have a model, we don't have a map.
It's like they think by not being falsifiable, they've done something good. Like, we don't have a model. Like, okay, then what are we even discussing? Like, this is less than if you had a model. This is worse than you were before. Black's Law Dictionary request. What do you want me to look up? Jay's a proxy, flat, or something next to where it would be? Okay.
Sit down. Go back to class, go back to the drawing board, do it again. Till you come up with something. But what Flat Earth does is they try to push themselves to the front of the row, to the front of the class, but they don't have anything. Oh, but we have all the facts, Sharon. We know that water lies... Okay, it will never, again, I'll repeat to you, Flat Earth will never take over anything. You will, in 5 years, be doing the exact same thing, but you'll have less friends, less family.
Fewer friends and family.
Less money, less hopes and dreams, less truth. That's what comes with time with the Flat Earth. Why? Because everybody here is just wanting clicks, wanting drama.
Flat, a place covered with water too shallow for navigation with vessels ordinarily used for commercial purposes. The space between high and low water mark along the edge of an arm of the sea, bay, tidal, river, etc. We did it.
What can we talk about on our channel today and tomorrow and the next day? So that we get more clicks, more drama, more dopamine.
He's projecting now. I mean, he's not wrong about what he's saying. Conspiracy theory like this that takes over your life and becomes your entire identity is incredibly alienating. The only community you end up fostering is the conspiracy community, which further entrenches you in those beliefs and makes it more difficult to change your mind, because now you've gotten rid of all your old social structure, your social supports, your friends, your family that you used to be close to, and now all you have are the conspiracy people. And if you change the belief, if you no longer toe the line of the conspiratorial beliefs, they're going to kick you out, and then you're alone. I don't know. It functions like a cult, basically. It becomes nigh impossible to leave because your entire social existence is connected to the cult.
Hits. Nobody is doing the work. And I repeat, nobody. Now you might say, oh, there are some people doing the work, Jaron. Okay, well, they're not producing anything. What are they producing? If you're talking about Stephen Alonzo and his lies, I mean, he's just making things up. I saw
Green guy with $3 tip says, Hannah, is this going to be watching another person sadly spiraling? No, honestly. Like, he's wrong about certain things, but if he's spiraling upward, because he's leaving flat Earth. So, like, I would say that's an improvement. Jeranism's got a lot of problems. I don't think we agree on virtually anything, but, like, better to not be a flat earther, so. Is this map a meme? Oh, the map is this meme. Whoa, this is worthless. It's less than worthless, my boy. Yes. I like Gravity Falls.
Today, and we'll look at it in a second. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting scary. Like, I'm appalled at some of the stuff I see and being said and agreed with. I mean, who's this King Nico? Where did this guy come from? A magician or something? Guy's out of his mind. These people have no idea.
King Nico is a weird one. I want to cover him more. I'm still not convinced he's not just a grifter. He has such, like, a specific personality, and he brings up every conspiracy talking point like he practiced. It's like he used ChatGPT to, like, learn a bunch of stuff conspiracy theorists believe in, and he just, like, regurgitates them. He could be a real guy, don't get me wrong. There's many flavors of odd out there that I'm not familiar with, but he just seems so calculated. He seems devious in the way he actually tries to move a conversation. It seems more intentional than your average, genuine conspiracy theorist. He uses tactics, I guess is what I'm trying to say, in a way that is not characteristic of a true believer.
Idea. They haven't been here for 10 years. And here's Dean Odell saying that we can manipulate weather.
We know can manipulate the weather. We know this from the book of Job. Satan can manipulate the weather.
Oh.
And we know the United States government can. Right? Why is everybody up in arms? See, one reason I've sat back and just watched all the hoopla about all this, because I'm like, I don't care if you see 15 suns in the sky and they do whirlabouts. God's word is true.
Okay, so that is the problem right there. Okay, what Dean Odell just said is the problem for a majority of flat earthers. He just said that it doesn't matter how many suns you see, it doesn't matter what you see in the sky, it doesn't matter what you see. So now, to Dean Odell, it doesn't matter if you measure curve. It doesn't matter if you take him up to space and show him the earth. God's word is true.
Yeah, I think once you're actually arguing with someone who outright says that they are going to deny empirical evidence if it goes against their belief, you just kind of have to give up. Like, what do you do to that? You just kind of have to throw your arms up and go, okay. Like, you can't make someone respect empiricism, you know? If someone literally is intent on deluding themselves, you can't stop them. You probably just don't deal with them and hope that you don't have to deal with them.
Now, of course,
not always the case. Sometimes you have to deal with people who don't believe in empiricism, which is unfortunate, but that's a different topic.
God's word? I have contention about that. What I don't understand is why Christians think it's okay to pick and choose from the Bible and not adhere to the whole thing. Romans 11 says, all government is placed there by God. To go against the government is to go against God. Yet every one of those Christians that I know and everybody that watches my channel, and myself included, chose not to get vaccinated, chose to go against government wishes. But if you tell them, well, that was going against God, they say, what are you talking about? I did what God would have wanted me to do. Okay, so then what's wrong? Then why are we going to say some things from the Bible and not others? That's my problem with that. But I won't get into that. That's another subject altogether, and that will just piss people off to no end. I accept religion. And let me tell you this.
Are we seeing the beginning of his redemption arc? I'm not going to be that optimistic. Like, he might end up like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Level Earth Observer. We've covered him before, but you might not recognize him. He's a flat earther that is a flat earther in everything but name. He calls himself a demonstrable realist, so technically he doesn't claim to be a flat earther. He claims to be a demonstrable realist, but he still espouses all of the flat earth talking points and is effectively a flat earther. So I don't know if Jeranism is going to start in earnest trying to debunk flat earth claims more often, or if he's basically going to be a flat earther in everything but name. We don't know. We just don't know yet. We'll see. I'm interested to see. At least right now, he is in a period where he seems amenable to being more skeptical of the claims of his former friends. So that's good. That'll help.
This to flat earthers. If your religion is flat earth, I have no problem. If you have a religious belief in flat earth, I have no problem at all. But you cannot enter into scientific discussions. Okay? The no map, no model, no claim, that kind of thing. We don't make any claims. Okay, the science is making claims. That's what science is. It's making claims and then backing them with evidence, showing which test can show which is the most likely answer, or what is most backed up by examples or testing.
I wonder what Bob Nodell would have thought of this had he been alive.
So if you don't make claims, then you don't do science. And why did we ever think it was okay to do so? I keep bringing up this analogy, and I know people don't like it, but I don't really care. It's the way it feels to me. Let me just explain. It's as if we have a bowling alley with the PBA bowling team. They're bowling, they're throwing their balls, they're having a great time. And next to them is a group of children.
People are giving Jaren money. Oh yeah, Jaren has 160,000 subscribers. Of course people are giving him money.
Loud, they're obnoxious, they are just kind of sad and dirty noses. And they ask for bumper balls. Can we get the bumpers in the gutters, please? Sure. So, place turns on the bumpers, they're using the bumpers. And then they're turning to the PBA bowlers and making fun of them. Saying, ha ha, you guys can't even bowl. Look at that guy just bowling in the gutter. We never bowl gutter over here. They're like, well, yeah, you're using the bumpers. And then they've got a couple teammates that say, like, what about these guys? Do they bowl too? And they say, we don't throw no balls. We don't have any lanes.
Level Earth Observer seems much more anti-globe than pro-flat. He also really hates the ISS. That's a good way to put it. The thing is, when he's anti-globe, it's pretty clear what the butt is. Like, his channel is literally called Level Earth Observer, and he constantly goes on about how everything is measured level and flat. It's clear he is trying to gesture in the direction of, I don't think the Earth is round, so therefore, ... and the ellipses are supposed to take you to other flat Earth channels. I just think Level Earth Observer wants to be, frankly, sorry, I try not to talk like this about people. I think he's being a little bitch. I think he's trying to not make a claim. He is. He's trying to tiptoe around the claim he's making so he can say, oh, I don't have a model. I'm not saying the Earth is flat. I'm just asking questions. Just a Peach says, Seek Truth, Speak Truth must be having fun with this. He's been doing skits pretending to still be a flat earther that is on the run in the English countryside from NASA. I've seen the videos. They're cute.
But you guys suck and don't know what you're doing and are terrible. What? People would laugh them out of the building. Like, you don't get to come to the bowling alley and talk shit when you have nothing. So what I really thought was that we'd come back and that people would go back to the drawing board and we would figure this out. Instead, people say it doesn't matter and they just want to move on. It's fake, it doesn't matter, move on. So that's what will happen.
What don't they get or hate about the fact that we're so tiny and the Earth is so big and relative to each person the Earth looks flat? Because that's dispositive proof of the thing that they want to believe. That's it. It just doesn't comport with what is intuitive to them, so they reject it.
Happen forever. Do you realize that? Are you aware that you will be here in 5 years? And yeah, sure, Witsit's going to have destroyed a couple people in debates. You've got Alan will do a couple great presentations. Shane will win some debates and do some presentations. There'll be some drama. Z and Notch will cover some other drama going on. And there'll be no change.
Hey, Nemasaur.
Nothing. Nothing will change ever. Why? Because nobody's doing the work. So if that's what you're here for, great. I'm not here for that. I'm not going to be here in 5 years doing the same thing, giving the same argument. But water lies level. Well, let me see you make water curve. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. And why are flat earthers? They're so smart when it comes to left-right paradigms, right?
Are they?
You told somebody a flat earther, what are you, left or right? I'd be like, what? That's ridiculous. That's a government setup. That's that's an agenda meant to put us apart, make us, fight each other. So is flat earth versus global.
Did you know that having a political position on literally anything is a psyop? The only logical position is complete apathy in the face of everything.
It's the same thing. And you're getting stuck into a belief system that is very difficult to get out of. Let me tell you, very difficult. So I'm trying to make this opportunity for people who want to exit now, to blame it on me, to put the pressure on me, because I don't care. I can take it. Okay. If you've noticed, everybody's been making videos about me. I don't even watch them. Don't even care. I don't even care. Again, it's like I'm the PBA bowler, and then there's a bunch of children with bumpers yelling and screaming and throwing rocks at me. I don't care. Keep throwing rocks. Doesn't bother me. Okay?
I feel like the metaphor fell apart at the end there. There's not a lot of rocks you have access to at a bowling alley. Don't say the balls are rocks. They're not. They're balls.
So, let me see here. We got this one. I just want to finish off with the Satan. Is Satan the one who put the sun up in the sky, guys? Now, some of you might say it is.
They knew, because they're Satanists, some of them, and
listen.
they saw a light go around. All these weird anomalies.
No anomalies.
I'm not even going to. I'm just going to say, they went and they saw a light.
This is what you guys need to realize. If you're me, just realize that every single person that I used to think was a good researcher, from Level Earth Observer, to Plain Truth, to Don't Sphere the Truth, to Eric Dubé.
Sorry, I haven't heard of Don't Sphere the Truth. That's a pretty good pun.
To Sov, to you name it.
Even when I don't like the content, I can appreciate a good pun.
They all turned out to be trash. They're trash.
I like that it's literally, I trusted all of these people until they told me I was a liar. It has nothing to do with the actual quality of their content. It's entirely based in his own anger, in his own realization that they're wrong about him.
Researchers. How do I know that?
Don't Sphere the Reaper would be a better pun. I guess. They're both fine.
Because I went on the trip. I was there. It's clear. It's obvious. It's obvious. And yet, if we can't even decipher that, how can we expect ever to do anything? And the answer is you cannot. So I'm just, here's the thing, because you might be hating me, flat earthers. I'm just telling you, I'm making a prediction. You will be in the same spot and nothing will happen. Nothing will ever, not with this bunch. Do you see what happened here? If something goes against our worldview, we have to figure it out. That's what should happen. If you call it fake and move on, you'll never do anything. You'll never go anywhere. You'll never have a map. You'll never have a model. But some people are happy with that. Why? Because Stephen Alonso is going to make money. These guys are going to make money. So to them, they don't really care. They don't care.
Around them
Let's
in a
listen.
circle that they.
Benigagami says, I'm so sick of this, LOL. I'm an empty vessel. I'm just asking questions. You can't own me. I'm Schrodinger's cat. My belief is the one that wins because I'm an independent thinker. So many people are just cowardly, weak people afraid of sincerity, be it YouTubers, social media people, or politicians. People are afraid of being wrong. And I think part of that's not necessarily our fault. As a society, we pretty harshly critique people for being wrong. And don't get me wrong, you need to point out when people are wrong, but it is such a shame stigma attached to it that, like, no one wants to admit they're wrong, even when they clearly are. Like, don't get me wrong, I think we have a lot of interpersonal issues and personal issues that people need to deal with in terms of their own arrogance. But I also think as a society, we aren't making it the easiest to admit you're wrong and apologize and move on.
Or that they...
So I thought it was the sun?
With some things, not everything, obviously. I'm talking about things that aren't, like, grievous crimes.
Here again.
Not talking about that kind of thing. I'm just talking about, like, you know, admitting you're wrong about something.
Go, Dean.
and they saw a light go around them in a circle that they thought was the sun.
It is the sun, Dean.
Ray says there's also this thing where American mythos is obsessed with people who aren't just right, but are right when everyone else around them is wrong. Yes, we have this folk concept of the rugged individual that stands up against like the tyranny of the wrong opinion of the crowd. And it's like, yes, there's a place for that, and that does happen sometimes. But most of the time, that's not the case.
We zoomed in on it with a camera. You know what those are? And took pictures of the sunspots. You know what those are? And they're the same ones that are there from somebody taking a picture at the same time in the north.
Or that they knew because they're Satanists.
Oh, okay. They knew because they're Satanists.
Some of them. That Satan would be there to help them. Because listen, folks.
Wow.
Satan has a lot invested in this deception.
Do you realize
you should invest in T-bills?
Where this go? I'm just wondering if people can grasp that if you can get away with saying what Dean Odell's saying right now, then you can get away with anything. Dean Odell, the same guy, am I mistaken, or is he the one that said, I think he is. Dean Odell, wait, is Dean Odell the one who said that 9/11 that God came to him? God, I can't remember if that was Dean Odell or not. I think it was. So God came to Dean Odell 3 days before 9/11 and told him that a plane would be crashing into a building in New York. And that he didn't tell anybody because he didn't know why God told him that. And then he saw it happen. He's like, oh, that's why God told me. So
that's such a funny thing. Like, obviously that didn't happen. He's lying or he's delusional. But I do find that to be a funny concept. Like, that's not even actionable information. God just calls you and you're like, hey, what's up, big guy? El Areno, how's it going, buddy? There's what? A plane gonna hit a building in New York, and then just dial tone, and you're like, wait, what? Which building? There's a lot of buildings in New York. What do I do? Like, there's literally nothing you could do with that information, even if you actually had it. Green guy with the $3 tip says, Hannah, I thought electronics in the Navy for... Was that supposed to be bought? Electronics in the Navy for 3 years, and the biggest barrier to learning for some was coming forward and asking questions because they were afraid of admitting when they didn't know. Yes. I think in school we need a bigger focus on telling kids, hey, it's okay to be wrong. That's what we're here for. We're gonna help. Ugh.
that's what God does. God talks to Dean Odell. I believe it. Tells him about 9/11.
He has spent hundreds of years crafting this deception about changing the nature of creation so that people won't believe the Bible. He built NASA to help you out with this one. Think about that.
So now Satan built NASA. Satan. He actually says that Satan created himself as a ball of light and went around the sky. That's what he says. Satan was what I saw in the sky, not the sun.
Jay the Proxy says, even if God said the Twin Towers on 9/11, 2001, still, I don't know how actionable that would be. Who would believe you? You would have to call in a... This is my if you get sent back in time and you can stop 9/11 plan. You gotta call on... Am I allowed to say this on the internet? It's a silly hypothetical as a joke. It's a silly hypothetical as a joke. On the morning of 9/11, you need to call in a serious bomb threat to the World Trade Centers, basically. You need to get those people out of there. Or, even better, actually, if you have time, create an improvised explosive device and actually set off something in the World Trade Centers, but like a small one that's actually not going to harm anyone, and get the buildings evacuated. Okay, you're not going to save the people on the planes, but, like, it's something.
Even though I left Punta Arenas, I guess Satan is...
Time travel isn't real, so we'll never have to deal with this.
Satan always the son, Dean? I need help here. Because this is just convoluted.
The worst teacher at your high school made people read their wrong answers in front of the class after a test? Oh, that led to a lot of complexes. Holy shit. Benekagami says, people need to accept that I don't know is an acceptable answer. It may be an annoying answer, but an acceptable one. Absolutely.
Nonsense bullshit.
He meant taught. Yeah, I got that after I read it. Sorry, just a peach.
Shit.
Deception.
And I don't know why we ever allow it to happen. And just everybody in the crowd, oh, yeah, that's true. It could be that. Again, if you want to remain here for 10 years and get nowhere, you're in the right spot. Just be a flat earther. Follow Dean Odell. You will get nowhere. You will accomplish nothing. You'll lose more friends. You'll lose more family.
What about the Pentagon? What, is everything my job?
If something goes against your worldview, you need to change your theory, or you need to accept it. This is a religion that you have, right? So I don't have a religion of flat earth. I don't.
And do I think there are people in jail right now who time traveled to now to stop atrocities we don't know about? No, I don't believe time travel is real. Backwards time travel. I know time dilation is the thing with relativity. That's not what I'm talking about. Trey says we had collectively agreed to retrofitting World War II tap code to cheat on tests together.
And it showed up to be level and flat. So I said, okay. So I looked at water, said water lies flat. Okay. They lied about me in an experiment. I said, okay, that's even more proof. They lied about Stephen Hawking's experiment. I said, okay, now we got something. They lied on Nat Geo. Okay, for sure. They don't have 24/7 cameras at the South Pole. Okay, this is for sure. And then we went down and checked, and I realized I was wrong. So why am I the only one? They can say, oh, I was wrong. Let's reevaluate. Now, here's the problem. When I said that, people flipped out, called me a shill, because I reported what I saw. Now, if you can't see the problem here, that in the future, people are not even going to come forward anymore. Let's say somebody's out, they're doing some testing, and they find curvature. They test it, they find it, they do, okay, great. Do you realize that that person will be afraid now to come out and say it? The flat earth is shut down. There can be no new information. Nothing can be grown upon. It is now a dogmatic religious belief. And I got into flat.
Okay, new plan. Someone gives the idea you have to go back in time and stop us arming the Mujahideen. Okay, plan. There's a film called Bedtime for Bonzo. Bedtime for Bonzo is a film in which actor Ronald Reagan at the time stars alongside a chimpanzee named Bonzo. I will go back in time with shark testosterone. I will go to the set of Bedtime for Bonzo. I will wait until they are about to call action, and I will inject Bonzo with said bull shark testosterone, at which point he will maul actor Ronald Reagan, thus averting the downfall of the American Empire. God bless you, Bonzo. You're a goddamn American hero!
To get away from religion, and now I'm getting out to get away from religion again. I'm out. I will not consider myself a flat earther if I'm the same as Dustin Nemos. If I'm the same as King Nico. If I'm the same as Banjo Baloo. If I'm the same as Sov. I'm just asking questions. He called me like,
Bahamut's Vengeance, thanks for following. Was it the Ronald Reagan murder story? Was that what got you the follow? Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, can you explain to me what what is this storm coming in if there's no snow in Antarctica? What is this storm?
Wouldn't killing Reagan as a kid be easier? Yeah, but in my scenario, he gets mauled by a chimp. Which is A, hilarious, and B, might lead to restrictions on using apes and other great apes in movie roles. Because it's honestly abusive.
I'm coming in.
Like, dude, relax, fucking old man. Fucking-lax. It's called low-level clouds.
No, I don't know about that.
They're just so dumb. And I don't know if they ever thought to themselves, like, oh, if I'm wrong about this, I wonder what Jaren would think of me. They must not even care.
Green Guy says, so then we voted him in and ruined America.
It's just views. It's just something to talk about, something to kick around. This guy's been talking about it every day for 2 weeks, I mean. And then he says, like,
let me just get something straight here. I don't care at all about this experiment. I don't care in the least bit. I'm just going to...
Then he's a tragic film star like Brandon Lee, and he doesn't deserve that? Hot take, Reagan does deserve that. Out of all of the presidents of the United States that ever existed, he's in the top 5 that deserve to get mauled by a rabid chimp. He's not number 1, Nobody's in the top 5.
Throw my friend under the bus because I don't give a shit.
The guy's on my channel. He's on my show. It's disgusting. The people, Dustin Nemos.
This episode is making me want to make an out-of-context video for you on YouTube. You have no clue how funny you are. Hey, if anyone ever wants to do a channel that's like clips of mine or like, you know, out-of-context montages, go for it. You have full permission. I'm not going to be upset about that. I'll even promote it. Baba Booey! Thanks for subscribing with Prime.
Somebody who I had on my show, he was on my debates, won't get out of my inbox with just a bunch of bullshit. Like, we're on to you now. We know, okay, whatever, astronaut, we know we're on to you now. You better watch your back, we're on to you.
Yeah, Overthought has done some.
You're not on to shit. It's so funny to me that you're clueless. Clueless. People saying the sun wasn't there. It's a studio. Like, think about that. A studio. A studio. You can't be that bad. You can't really believe that. Do people actually believe that? Like, why didn't anybody stop them and say, guys, come on, let's look at the evidence. Let's not be ridiculous. But nope.
H-Bird says, not a chimp, but I had to. Shockma! Is it weird that I recognize this movie from just this? This is Shockma. I own Shockma on Blu-ray. Roddy McDowell's in it. Get it? Roddy McDowell's in it because he was an ape in Planet of the Apes.
It didn't happen, did it? People just let it go?
Email, thanks for a $5 tip.
I saw people jump, start talking shit about us. Like, wow, this is ridiculous. People they couldn't even figure out.
Mandrake PoE, thanks for continuing your gift sub. Thank you very much. I'm trying to get, by the way, I think I mentioned this, I'm trying to get to tier 2 of Twitch Partner Plus, and if you want to help do that, you can become a subscriber. Right now, I am 81 out of 300 points. So yeah, if you want to become a subscriber, do so. Helps me out a lot, and you don't have to see ads anymore.
The drone situation, remember where they were talking about Drone Gate, where, the drone's making the sound of the... They didn't even realize that McToon is on, or MC Toon is on his live stream while Will is on his live stream. Where is the green screen?
Did Reagan actually make any good movies? I don't think I've ever seen any of his films. I've not seen any good ones. I've only seen the monkey ones, I think, as a joke. So I don't know. It's possible there's some good ones, but I haven't seen them.
How things work? Must not.
I will save Brandon Lee. I would like a proper The Crow sequel. Cloud Wizard with 100 bits says, Hannah, I'm teaching a unit that has to do with art. Favorite artist movie. Like, do you mean like a biopic or a documentary? Documentary, Exit Through the Gift Shop, I'd recommend. Banksy is sort of the narrator, but it's not really about Banksy. It's about another sort of, quote, outsider artist. And it's an interesting documentary that explores what even is art, what gives art value, what gives popular art value in the eye of the public or in the eye of art collectors, how much of it is real, how much of it is the provenance, you know, it's pretty good. What's my favorite, like, fictional biopic about an artist? Picasso is pretty good. Loving Vincent is interesting because Loving Vincent, for those that don't know, is done all in the style of Vincent van Gogh. So it's an animated film that's literally entirely animated using sort of the style of his paintings, and that's pretty beautiful, you know? Style of his paintings and drawings and his different art, basically. So that one's pretty beautiful. It's rotoscoped, of course, but, like, it gives a pretty interesting, effect. I like Big Eyes, as well, which is a Tim Burton movie. That's more so about the personal lives of an artist who had her work stolen by her husband, and then her legal battle to prove that she was the actual artist. Have I seen Cecil B. Demented? I've not. I'm familiar with it, but I've not seen it.
I want to show you real quick.
That's a John Waters movie, right?
Just the beauty of the where to go?
Oh, we're on a hype train, 71% to level 1 on the hype train.
There it is. Just the beauty of these drone shots, real quick. And you said, I mean, this is, how could it be fake? So I don't get where, and I think people have heard us say it, and I'm not going to say it anymore. But Austin and I thought that by going, we would be eliminating that idea. We're like, oh, at least they won't say it's fake, because we wouldn't lie. So now here we go here.
Green Guy says, Hannah, I feel like you know a lot about films. Is it like a hobby? Little bit of one. Yeah, it's a hobby. It's definitely not a problem I have. It's a hobby.
Let me go back here. So just so you see, this is the camp where we were at here. Okay, so people are very confused, like Dustin Nemo. Wait, you don't see my mouse? Weird. Usually you can see my mouse. I don't know why you can't see it. Anyway, that camp down there in the lower right is where we were at. Obviously, clearly. That mountain that you see in front of you is Mount Rossman. Okay. Remember, it's about 2 miles away from that camp. You can see there.
How many DVDs, Blu-rays do I own? 3,500 as of a couple days ago.
Now, you'll notice that where the drone is up right now is
Someone sent me, Someone sent me Godzilla vs. Kong, The New Empire from my wish list. This was my 3,500th Blu-ray.
away from there.
Moving's gonna be a nightmare.
Well, the drone took off from the other spot.
Oh, what Blu-ray you buying next month, Will Kale? Minute left in the hype train.
It's not hard to figure out. Everyone's very confused about, was there 2 spots? Where's the camp? No, just stop it. Think of how bad this has looked to those of us who went. What do you think Duffy and MC Toon?
Have I thought of doing a movie review channel? I don't know if it would be good. Oldest film I own? I have compilations of stuff from, like, the early silent era, so I have stuff that includes clips from, like, 1902. Depends on how you define movie. Depends on how you define film. Like, I have collections that include, like, some of Edison's early experimental works, like Frankenstein from 1910. You count that? Then that. Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub. 2% to level 2 on the hype train.
And Critical Think.
No, I'm not moving. I'm just saying if we ever do, it's going to be a nightmare to move all these goddamn movies. Why are Blu-rays preferable? Higher quality than DVDs? Yes, higher picture and audio quality can also hold more data.
And Dave McKeegan, think of Flat Earth Now. They were there. They went on the trip. Do you think they're going to slow up in their attacks at Flat Earth Now? You think they're going to ease up? Or do you think they're going to go even harder because of this bullshit? Do you think that this is faked? Who thinks this is fake? Do you think that that's fake?
They do. Does he not understand they do think that this is fake? It's like he's... When he was not there, he was presupposing it's fake. Now when he was there, he's surprised everyone else is presupposing it's fake. Like, it's peak hypocrisy. Jesse Curtius with a $10 tip says, so proud of my dad. He was QAnon adjacent in 2020, got divorced, and since then, and left the toxic church that made him depressed and paranoid. Still a Trump supporter, but he's happier. Baby steps. That's good. Hey, buddy, could you stop attacking my foot, please? Ah! I'm glad they're taking your balls tomorrow. Oh, sweetie pie. Come here, sweetie. Come here. Tell the audience you don't want them to take your balls. Oh. Poor buddy. Tomorrow, he's getting neutered.
Here's the other thing you have to come to realize if you're me. I now believe, get ready for this. I now believe in a South Pole. Jaron, how could you...
You want help, buddy? There's like a thing over here that he likes to get on, but he needs... Oh boy. Oh, he looks so happy I moved him.
Believe in a South Pole because it's impossible that it doesn't exist now. This is what you call logic. This is what you call piecing things together, realizations. If I go down to Union Glacier And
Will Kale, I believe early DVDs is 480p, but like modern DVDs, I believe can do 720.
I get to 79 point whatever 4 or 5 degrees south, and the sun is at 35 degrees at its highest and 15 degrees at its lowest. I can pretend like I'm the great explorers from 1900 going to the South Pole. How would I do that? I could do it without any equipment. From where we are right here, I could find the spot where the sun is the lowest in the sky. Okay, it's about right there. And
Minute and a half left on the hype train.
And I would walk and I would walk, and guess what? In 69 miles, that sun will now be, the southern sun, will now be 1 degree higher. And when the sun goes around my back and is now in the north, it will be 1 degree lower. If I walk another 69 miles, it will again rise up 1 degree and behind me go down 1 degree in the north. If I keep doing that about 9 times, maybe 10 times, I think it's 9 times, I will eventually get to the point where the degrees are the same, meaning that now there is no variation in the north and south sun. And guess what that is? It's called the South Pole. It can be nothing else. If anything else existed, it would be a paradox. It would be a paradox. We were in Punta Arenas. We saw what the sun was doing there.
Dinosaur, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs, getting us to 49% to level 4 on the hype train. Thank you muchly.
In a plane. We flew down south. The plane, the sun followed us. Sun was behind us. It came around to the west. We landed. It was there. It went to the south. It came around and did its thing. It doesn't set in the south. This is now a fact. We should just accept it and work on it. But we can't even do that.
How does he not get it? How does he not understand that he would have never accepted this if he didn't go on the trip? Does he know that? Does he know if he hadn't gone on the trip, he would be one of these people that's calling into question all these random things?
Channel after video of all these people in the chat saying, oh, they faked it. They're, Masons. So I'm just out. I'm done. I'm not going to spend my time convincing people that are retarded that I went on a trip that's clear that I went on the trip. I brought chest cam footage. You can check my chest cam footage with the 24-hour camera footage. You will see that it's the same. There's nothing from this trip that was fabricated in any way. And yet people can't see that. So if we can't come to the conclusion that something is real when there's this much evidence, then we'll never get to any conclusion. In fact, if anything
DVDs do 720p, maybe that's what I was remembering. Sorry.
Goes against our model, we'll just call it fake. So what would I be doing in that group? Why would I do that? Why am I going to be the only one willing
We're not doing strikes on this video because this is the only video we're watching today.
Stand up and say, hey guys, this doesn't
That would also be strike 2 if we were doing strikes, but we're not doing strikes on this video.
Our model. Well, shut up, dude. Don't you know Lindsay's model explains it? Don't you know that Joe Hamby's already modeled it? No, he hasn't. We saw the sun. It did not deviate. It did not mirror. It did not combust. It did not combine. It did not conjoin. It's the sun. It's the sun in the south. It's the same sun. We also, by the way, in case you don't know this, because if you watch other channels, you'll be confused by this, we have one sun. One.
Oh, yeah. The Sunspots filming they did was genius, by the way, to prove that it is the same sun. Again, kudos to, like, the Round Earth people, like MC Toon and stuff that went on this experiment, Will Duffy and everyone, because they came up with some really good ways. They preempted a lot of the bullshit some of the Flat Earthers could have pulled. So they, for instance, took photography to note, like, sunspots and stuff, so people could compare it to other places in the world where they could see the sun and could see the same sunspots to verify, hey, this is the same sun. We are seeing the same sun, the real sun, in the south that you are seeing wherever else on Earth at the same time it's visible.
Not
genuinely, really, really good work.
10, not 50. Well, there's some apparent suns. Learn what an apparent sun is. It's right next to the other sun. Nobody's claiming that there's a sun over here and one over there. But that's what you have to believe if you go to Stephen Alonso's stuff. And it's just these are just like barely scratching the surface and nobody else is working on it. Nobody. That's a problem. And I shouldn't have to tell you that. you should recognize that it's a problem if we can never be proven wrong. You understand? And you might say, but Jaren, the globe's the same way. They can never be proven wrong.
I don't think they do understand it. I don't think that, like, falsifiability and trying to falsify your beliefs is part of sort of the flat earth ethos. If it was, they wouldn't be flat earthers. They don't understand that that's the point, is to come up with a hypothesis, come up with an experiment to disprove it, and then run the experiment to try and disprove yourself. And I'm not sure if they understand that. 30 seconds on the hype train.
Yeah, but the globe never explains
Frizia, thanks for 53 months at tier 2, gets us to 93% to the next level.
anything with nuh-uh, doesn't matter. It's a nothing burger. Never heard that.
Just a Peach with $1 says, I put a picture of something green guy got in Discord live stream chat for a cleanse. I'll
Never
take a
heard that
look.
from her. Never it once. So I'm trying to find one thing real quick. Let me see where this is at. It's in here. God, what is it called? Yeah. Trying to find that Alonzo.
Cute.
Oh, yeah, I know where it's at. It's on the site. I'll get it.
It's like a manta ray plushie. Adorable. Have I shown you all my shark? Tis my shork. I have one. Before anyone says anything, it's not a Blahai. This is not from IKEA. This is an off-brand. An off-brand Blahai, just like me. Off-brand human being.
Right there. That's what it is. Okay. So we've got this. Is that? Oops. Get this on the screen. I want to show you something here. And then we're going to go through in detail and look at why I have to get out. Why I cannot be a part of this anymore. I didn't tell you what's coming up. But I have
Each
to get out.
tile is a foot? Oh,
end
wow,
in
that's
sight.
a big manta ray then. Holy shit.
Here, there is no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. There's only misery. There's only disgust. People that you would think would be your friends because they were your friends for 9 years or 8 years or whatever, and then they just...
There was a guy 10 years ago who made an experiment to prove the Earth wasn't round, but his results said otherwise, and he started blaming fairy lights. Are you thinking of the experiment that Jeranism did in the documentary Behind the Curve? Because that's this guy that we're listening to. Screaming at the Radio says, have you noticed how flat earthers understood model as a miniature version of the real thing? That's not at all what a model in science is. It's a mathematical representation that can make predictions. So when they say, you don't have a model of a wet ball, they literally mean that. In reality, a scientific model of a wet planet is trivial, but they don't understand that's what a model is supposed to be. I'm sorry, I didn't... You're right. I think you might be right. When they hear model, they literally think like a model kit you would buy at the store that you could make a diorama. Oh, God. Is that why that one guy is so obsessed with making a little flat Earth with the dome and stuff? Like, he literally thinks you need a miniature version of the thing. Oh my god.
turn their back on you. Do you know I have not talked to David Weiss since I've been back on the trip? Not talked to him. Didn't reach out. He just goes around making, whatever he wants to say, debunking things, making claims. Doesn't talk to me.
What is this, a flat earth for tardigrades?
Did Sav call me? Nope. Not until the other day when he called. Well, I don't remember if I called him or he called me. I think I called him. Or I wrote him and said, Sav, why are you telling people we went home on the 18th? We went home on the 17th. No, we didn't do it. Like I wouldn't know. Like, dude, we found out on the 16th that we were going home the 17th. Well, they wouldn't just let...
You can make a model of a wet ball if you can simulate zero gravity. Microgravity, yeah. They've done it on the International Space Station.
You guys get...
Shown like an object, or like the one I think of as a towel where they wrung it out and you can see the water pool on the exterior of the towel and they kind of move it and you can see the water kind of trailing but following the washcloth because, again, it's attracted mass.
We take one day off and then those guys get a free day.
What are you talking about, Saab? The price involved in that trip is all the plane flight. Yeah, they serve food like a trough, like at a
That's true. Surface tension plays a role in that. You're not wrong.
the army or something.
I apologize.
There's no cost there. If they actually offered us to stay until after Christmas. You know why? Because it wouldn't have cost them shit. So we left on the 17th, but we could have been there till the 26th. It wouldn't have cost them anything. What do you think? They have to pay money for those tents that we're in? Oh, somebody's going to have to empty an extra toilet bowl. The stupidity of flat earthers is astounding. It's astounding. You cannot go around...
We don't have anything big enough to simulate it with a physical model, though. That's why mathematical models are important, but they don't seem to know that that's even a thing.
Calling globe earthers idiots when you guys are worse. You're cocky with no...
Thank you for correcting me, by the way, when I say things that are incorrect. I appreciate it. I'm far from a perfect person, and I say stuff that's dumb sometimes. Thank you for correcting me so I can be better.
Reason to be cocky. You cannot play in the big leagues if you don't have a map, you don't have a model.
Any chance I talk about Attila the Hun today? The way he boiled his enemies in oil was probably a dick move. I just want to put that out there.
Have anything? We just have
Wait, no, that was Genghis Khan. That's a different guy. Unless both of them boiled people in oil. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
I wonder if they smelled delicious, like fried food.
Fake.
Probably not, because they were dead people, which famously don't smell good to us.
But let's go to bat against these globe believers. You're not ready.
So Have I seen Shogun? No.
Let's step back. Let's go back to the drawing board. Let's come up with something that works and then come forward when we can answer questions, when we can make predictions. Those guys went down there and made predictions, and every single prediction came true. Every single prediction. Now, after that happens, you got Stephen Alonso and these guys that will be like, oh, well, we made the same prediction. No, you didn't. What are you talking about? You just are stealing from the globe. Let me give you an example. This is Stephen Alonso's site. Okay? Or Alfonso. I don't know what his name is. Whatever. He's been totally unimpressive. Like, if you can't hear this guy talk and realize he's a liar, you've got problems. You've got issues. It's just, everything he says is just so made up and just garbage. So he's showing this little model and saying, okay, this is what we see from the sun. And they say, but he's actually just putting up pictures of the actual sun. Oh, this is what you see from Union Glacier. Well, yeah, this is what we saw from Union Glacier. And this is what was seen from the United States. Yeah, that's what was seen from the United States. What are you saying? Oh, well, it means that it works on our model too. What? Because you put a picture of the sun? He just took our work, not our work, but I mean stuff that we took, and then goes about saying, this is a great test. Let's read this part. This is an important test as it allows us to get past the simple astronomical claims of elevation and azimuth. Sure, we did predict the 24-hour sun at Union Glacier. Can you believe that?
No, they didn't. What do you mean you predicted it? No, you didn't. Flat Earth did not predict that. They were going to falsify that because the Flat Earth explicitly showed that there wouldn't be that. At least the azimuthal equidistant map, which Flat Earthers have up until now used. Green Guy with another $3 tip says, Hannah, water is super sticky as well due to the hydrogen bond with the oxygen. Why alcohol will roll off your body, but water pools, and you have to dry yourself off. Guess I never noticed that. When I was an alcoholic, I didn't usually get alcohol all over my body. Most of it went in.
Sure, we did predict...
And then a lot of it came back out on some nights, but you know. Don't drink, kids. Not good for you.
24-hour sun at Union Glacier. You're going to let this guy lie to you? What do you mean you predicted it? You mean because the globe predicted it? Have you heard him give his little spiel on where he comes up with these numbers? It's so funny. And I know people believe him. I know people... Let me see, is this one?
Dave McKeegan released his Sunspot footage, and it...
How do you not tell that guy's lying right off the bat? So clear. So clear. It doesn't matter. Dick.
That's good, Trey. Stay that way. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. If you ever want to do anything, Maybe try some THC. I would not recommend alcohol. Don't ever do it. Not good. It'll ruin your life.
Wayne, it doesn't matter if
To be clear, I'm aware most people can drink reasonably and perfectly fine. I just say, as someone who has a very strong alcoholic gene in my family,
they made
it can be hard to shake.
the predictions or were given the predictions. What matters is do those predictions
I've been sober for like 3 or so years now, by the way, so that's good.
match a model. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Now see how the two Dave McKeegan
So listen.
released his Sunspot footage, and it matches the predictions made by the Flat
Thanks, Ian. Have a good night.
Earth model.
Oh, those predictions were made before or after the...
So right now we have 2 spots and 1 spot. Now see
Now, I mean, this is even weird here. What is this? You mean looking from the... which one are we talking about? Which sun?
how the 2 spots are facing the center, facing the north.
Well, is this upside down or not? You said it's a disc, but the 2 spots are on the top. If they're on the bottom, then it's on the other side.
As the sun moves around, see how it rotates. The sunspots rotate because the sun is a flat disk rotating above us, essentially.
Oh,
The
really?
sun is a flat disc.
So you see
Why
now
do we only ever see it from the one angle?
how we're over here, the 1 dot is facing the north. And as we see in Dave McKeegan's footage, if we go into the first person view for United States and look up at the sun, we see the United States pattern with the single dot at the top, and see how the right dot should be higher and that left lower dot is slightly lower.
He just drew these
Perfect.
onto his...
But what matters though is
He just drew those on the map and then said, perfect. It's perfect. It matches exactly what they saw, guys.
multiple observers. Can we do what
Hmm.
the globe model can't do?
Mhm.
So if we go to Union Glacier and now look up at the observer, how does the sunspots look? As we see, it also matches exactly the Antarctica photos.
Yeah, he just drew those here. He just put those on the screen. That's not a prediction to see what somebody else does and then draw them on your stupid map. This
See
is
how
a
that single dot at the-
blatant... If you can't see this, this guy is blatantly lying to you. And I mean blatantly. In your face, like doesn't even care. Doesn't even have a care in the world that he's just lying to you. Listen to some more of this. And I don't know how... I'm not going to spend forever explaining to you. You need to figure it out. It's not my job to tell you people are lying to you. Figure it out. Okay? He says... sorry. Why is this thing on the screen? Move out. So yeah, so sure, we did predict the 24-hour sun at Union Glacier, including the exact angles of elevation. However, since there is only one sky, Globers will lie and say that accurate flat Earth predictions...
I don't know. I've thought about asking Jaren to talk, but I don't know. I want to see at least a little bit more how this goes over the next couple months before I want to talk to him. I want to see if he has any further revelations, if he sinks further back down into flat Earth, just by a different name and with a different community. We'll see.
are actually globe predictions. Right.
Thanks, October Red. It's good to see you.
That's where you got them from.
Hope you've been doing well.
Or wrong predictions will they accept? Only wrong predictions will they accept. This is one of the reasons why we know they're disingenuous. Why? Okay, whatever. Having that said, that is why this test is so valuable.
Don't wait too long. Trump might give him a cabinet position. No, he's not a flat earther anymore.
As it is harder for them to strawman, as we are not using any astronomical claims. We are simply seeing how a flat geometric surface causes 3 spots to appear when looking in the first person from 2 different locations, United States and Union Glacier. We also zoom out to show how the sun physically looks at the point where the dome refraction. It's another thing they've taught you. Have you seen this? The dome refraction?
Yeah, if he were to come on, I'd warn him before not to use the R slur. Like, I don't know if it would stop him, but at least I'd be like, hey, don't do that, please.
This new thing that they just made up. Okay. These do not work in reality. He doesn't have a actual model. There's no actual model. He shows, let me see if I can find it on his video. Where do we go? This way? I want you to see where he's just taking...
At the heart of the Firmament Tracker's Flat Earth app
Let me bring this
is
up.
our sophisticated 3D navigation system.
Watch this.
Using intuitive touchscreen joystick controls, Users can freely explore the
If he does, can you ask him if he'll talk to Echoplex? We promise to be nice. We are nice to Gary all the time, and he thinks ghosts tell him the future over track phone. I gotta see this. What is it? Echoplex? Echoplex. Is this not a YouTube thing? Is it a podcast thing?
celestial environment from any vantage point. The left joystick controls movement across the flat plane of Earth, while the right joystick...
Okay, I want you to understand what's going on. Why don't you see the screen like I do? Hold on one second. That's messed up. And that's probably better.
adjust altitude.
Come on. Open.
Adjust altitude,
Okay.
creating a seamless exploration experience.
Okay, so here's the problem that people don't really get. Do you realize that when the sun is on this side, God, I don't know why my mouse is not showing. Let me check something real quick. I've never seen this before. Properties.
It's a Twitch stream. The full name is Echoplex Media. Let me pull that up. I want to follow. Echoplex Media. Woo! Loud. Follow. I'll take a look later.
Capture cursor. Okay, I got it. Beautiful. All right. So when this dome of vision, and this is something I believed in, right? I told you guys that there was a personal atmospheric dome, and that everything renders into that dome, but it was dependent on where the location was. Meaning, if the sun comes around here, then it appears in your dome. And
the personal dome thing has bothered me more than so much of the other flat earth stuff. It's so just trying to find anything that might work to justify all the holes in their hypotheses. Excessive Observer, thanks for 56 months. Wow, that's a lot of months.
That the globe doesn't have a map. The globe has a map. It's called the globe. Okay? They don't have a model. They don't have a map. They don't have anything that works. Okay. It's just bullshit. And I can't stand it anymore. What do you guys want me to do? To sit around? And yeah, am I the only flat earther that's been able to say I'm done? I cannot put up with lies anymore. Okay? I bit my tongue the last couple days. I cannot handle it. It's bullshit. And this whole time for 9 years, I've been working my ass off to try and make things fit, try and make things work, show a personal atmospheric dome, show a glass dome, show how the sun can deviate from that. But then these guys start coming out with things that I'll never be able to explain. Nobody will. I know I keep saying it, but there's things like, think of how the flat earth treats the Selenelion eclipse. They call it the impossible eclipse because both the sun and the moon are above the horizon. And in order for that to happen, really, we need to give the globe maybe, I know it's only a half degree to get it from, that's the size of the sun and moon, but let's say we give them 5 degrees. Okay, so we give them 5 degrees on both sides, so now the sun and moon are both above the horizon, and we have a Selenelion eclipse. Okay, that's all they're asking for, 5 degrees. And we make fun of them and call it the impossible eclipse. But then we allow Joe Hanvey and this guy, Alfonso Soriano, to have 180-degree refraction of the sun. Meaning
Excessive Observer, thanks for gifting a sub to Avalon of Babylon. H-Bird says, I'll be an enlightened centrist and say we all have personal domes, but our domes are on a spherical Earth.
The sun is on the other side of the Earth.
Basically, if you don't understand what he's saying flat earthers give a lot of scrutiny to globe Earth claims, but will allow other flat earthers to say whatever ridiculous bullshit, and it's measured by a completely different standard.
But somehow we allow that. So what I want you guys to realize is that this is the way it will be forever. Look what happens if you dare to say, I am no longer a flat earther. Go look at the videos that were made yesterday by the likes of Snatchy Keta, by the likes of Slow Sanchez, who had a whole team. He had to have a whole team of people come up there and talk. It's hilarious. That this is what happened. It's a cult. It's a cult. Why would anybody care what my beliefs are?
The fact that he is able to recognize and call it out as a cult, that's the part that's incredible to me. Regardless of his personal opinions about the shape of the Earth or the cosmology of the universe, the fact that he is able to look at the group that we call flat earthers and recognize the in-group culty nature of it, that's a huge step. That's big. I hate to quote this, I really do, but frankly, pretty true. Takes a lot of courage to stand up to your enemies. Takes even more to stand up to your so-called friends. So, Jeranism being able to look at all the people who are a part of his community and going, you're in a cult, I give him points for that. That's hard to do. That's really hard to do. So regardless of the other stuff, good on him for that.
In fact, my hope is that people just go away and let me do what I'm going to do. And if they continue, then I am going, because I've already heard people say, oh, he's going to do a circuit. He's going to go around. I have no plans to do that. I have no plans to go to the media and say, hey, I was a flat earther and I'm not anymore, and here's why. I have no plans to do that. I feel like I owe it to my audience to say why, but I don't want to do that. But I might just do that. Because what I'm saying is the truth. What you guys are saying is a lie. And because you're too stupid to realize what I mean by the Home Depot, like, this is how dumb people are. They can't even get a thought in their head. The Home Depot is so simple to think about because people are like, they don't get it. Like, but Jaren, below our feet measure flat. And I'm like, yeah, that's what the globe says. Do you realize that in a Home Depot, it would take 17 Home Depots, by the way, to make a mile. So let's just do one. In that one Home Depot, how much curvature do you think there is on a curved Earth? On a spherical Earth, the size that we're told, 24,901 miles in circumference.
I know this sounds out there, but the metaphor he's going for isn't bad, actually. He's basically trying to give a visual for flat earthers to understand how imperceptible the curve of the Earth is at the scale that we are at of an average human being, you know, whatever the average human size is.
Do you think the curvature
medium creature size
is of a Home Depot that is only 1/17 of a mile? Hopefully you can figure that out. That would be like less than an inch, less than a half inch, less than a quarter inch. Now, can you not understand that if you built a Home Depot next to that one, it would have the same curvature? And the one next to that one would have the same curvature. And the one next to that one would have the same curvature. And do you realize that we would put a level anywhere in those Home Depots and they would always measure level? So when you say the ground below our feet measures level, yeah, that's what the globe says. Now, you can make every song that you want, make AI, make Home Depot songs. What do you think that tells me? It tells me that I'm part of a group of people that are retarded.
Sorry.
Why am I going to teach retarded people things? They can't get it. They just imagine they're like making fun of it. So they're basically like that, saying that says don't play chess with pigeons because they'll just shit all over the board and pretend like they won anyway. That's what's going on in this world. I'm not going to waste my time with Snatchy Keta, the greatest interviewer of all time. I'm not going to do it. I have better things to do. Trust me. Let me see here. We've got, where is this at? Oh, we'll listen to this real quick. Just more nonsense.
That's
That's 4. I know, we're not doing strikes on this video because this is the only video we're watching today.
With the new HD footage, but I'm basically seeing more vindication and more stuff to ask. More.
Babe, did he not? So the fact that we caught them in so many lies and they've been
oh my god, the guy on the left is King Nico. He's the newcomer to the flat earth community. He's something.
Defensive and they
we're defensive because you're accusing us. Okay, that's weird. So guys, when you get accused of not going somewhere you went, don't get defensive.
Character has just been, you know what I mean?
Nobody knows.
It's leaning more towards of they've been involved in some deceptive activity.
No.
Yeah, and I did a post on this where I was tracking everything up until the debate. Now,
dude, you look terrible. You look horrendous, Nemos.
Irrelevant. Again, good on Jaren for not being a flat earther anymore, but he still can't argue for shit. Like, he's still in that mode of like, I'm gonna make fun of the way you look. Like, it's relevant to what we're discussing.
I mean, did you hear him say that I took time away from my dying dog to look into this?
After that, it has gotten to the point where there are so many things coming out from so many people. Can no longer track all of the deceptions, all the busts.
So many deceptions. See how you guys just have to, for a second, please pretend you're me and pretend you went on the trip and everything was exactly as you said.
Okay, Jaren, imagine you're an astronaut and you went to the moon and everything is exactly like they said it went. And then people like you come around and say every astronaut's a fake actor. Same situation.
Ken, now open your eyes and look at what's going on and tell me how you would feel. If you would stay around and champion these people and be friends with these people and promote these people, you are lost. I want nothing to do with any of them. Now, flat earthers that have followed me, people that are my VIPs.
It's like he's on the deconversion high that ex-religious people go through. I imagine these are grievances that have been building for a while, and now he can finally get them out, so it's just like, it's all coming out of him.
People that know who they are. Of course this isn't talking about you. Of course you know who I am, and I would think if you were asked, is Jaren one of the most honest flat earthers that there are? You would say yes. If you would say no, then you should leave. Because you don't know who I am. You have not paid attention to a damn thing. Nothing at all.
Especially with the new HD footage, but I'm basically seeing more vindication and more stuff.
So think of, these are people that I thought were good researchers. Dustin Nemos had me on his show and told me, Jaren, I was an atheist, and then I found Jesus and I found the Bible and everything, and you need to look at all my, and he sent me this website, and I remember looking around. I was like, man, this guy's really well researched. Look how deep he gets into things. Now I look at it, I'm like, what a waste of time. I will never look at his website again. I'll spit on it.
Ask more questions, not less. It doesn't seem like it's helping them any. But I did a post on this at my website, the Serapeum. It's a Hidden History Archive. It's titled, Every Flat Earth Model Predicts a 24-Hour Sun.
Now this guy's saying it. Do you see what happens? This is what I'm trying to show you. So because one person said it, now Dustin Nemos picked it up, and he's going to say that every flat Earth model predicted a 24-hour sun in the south. And guess what? Everybody will now make that a point, and they'll all say it. This is what happened.
Which is true. I've heard this around a ton of flat Earth people saying this now in their circles. It's like it becomes a dogma. It becomes a thing they all repeat. It's not true, but if they all repeat it enough collectively and bolster each other's belief that it's true, it becomes their reality.
Happens. It's not true. It's just because it matches your model, it matches your worldview, you'll adopt it as true, and anything that doesn't, you'll dismiss as fake. If you can't see that that's a problem and a recipe for misery
in Antarctica, but did they fake it? Like I said, I don't care one way or another.
So he doesn't care one way or another.
So I was prepared either way. Lady Blount predicted this as early as 19th century. It's not a
She didn't predict it. She said that they saw it, that they had evidence of it, and then they said, we don't know how to explain it.
Big deal. But
it's not a big deal. She said they don't know how to explain it. If you're a flat earther today, you can no longer explain the sun, the most important thing in the world. You can't explain it.
Them trying to fake it is essentially them trying to hide God.
So now do you see the problem? Now you've put me against Christians. Now you're saying I'm trying to hide God. Why would I want to stay here? Why would I want to be considered a flat earther?
I know the in the world comment. I'll let that go because, like, sunlight enters the atmosphere and hits the earth. Sunlight is in the world even if the sun isn't. We get it. Let's not be pedantic.
You can keep it. Help. You can shove it.
Like, for example, Jaren is already a glober now. He's already saying that flat.
That's a lie. Never said I was a glober, but these guys lie. That's what they do. That's what they do. Find one place I said I'm a glober.
Flat earthers are a cult.
And you are a cult because even if somebody says I'm no longer a flat earther, look what's gone on. People screenshotted that, shared it. Oh, all the posts on Facebook, people flipping out. That's a cult, dude. That's a cult. What do you think that if Dustin Nemos came out and said, I now believe in the globe, that I would give a fucking shit? Not at all. I don't care what Dustin Nemos believes.
And he used to be a flat earther.
Yeah, I'm not actually familiar with Dustin Nemos very much. Does he have a YouTube channel, or is he like on Rumble, or is he just like a ex-Twitter guy? Let's see. Dustin Nemos. Because I've surprisingly not really come across him, which you'd think I would have in the circles I look at, you know? Either way, I'll save this and I'll take a look at him for future Tinfoil streams. Probably Rumble. He does have a YouTube, or at least someone's posting his stuff to YouTube. But at least I have his name saved now, and either way, we'll watch some of his stuff.
Earther like a week ago, 2 days ago, whatever.
Exactly.
So,
I used to consider myself a flat earther, yes, until I went down and saw something that actually invalidates the model I believed in.
That's where we're at, and I've basically tracked a number of major deceptions that came out.
Oh,
we heard about
tracked a number of major deceptions.
Footprint Gate, Vape Gate,
false and false and false.
There seems to be a round studio at play.
There seems to be a round studio at play. If you're somebody who thinks that there's a round studio in Antarctica, that we flew down there, we got out of a plane, and then went into a studio, like what happened on the rest where all those people are, the camp? Has nobody looked up? Have you not just typed in Union Glacier?
No.
Have you not seen that they have that camp there every year?
Of course they
find
haven't.
Numerous people who have been there every year. So what do they do every year, Dustin? Do they not have a 24? Just so people just go down there, they see it set, but nobody's paying attention. Nobody's just not aware of it. All the employees are watching it set, but they're like, oh, when these guys come in December of 2024, make sure we pretend we're going to put them in a studio so that they think the sun goes round. No.
Did you before this? That's a good question. He's acting like he never thought this stuff when he did.
Of course not. It's ridiculous. I cannot be part of a team that isn't smart enough to get this. Sorry. Just can't. Just can't. And there's no way I would be like any of you at this point. There is so much freaking evidence. If you just went...
You're surprised none of them have suggested the sphere in Vegas as the set? I'm a little surprised too, but once they found the volume thing, that was locked in. That's what their story was going to be.
To my site and just looked at my chest cam footage. How are you able to look at that and say it's fake? It's actually impossible to do. To even say that. Yet everybody's saying
They
it.
seem to have done this inside of a circular studio, which would explain things like the sun changing shape constantly from circular.
The sun doesn't change shape. The glare changes.
Except for that's a 360.
The volume thing is this. Hold on. The volume. The volume is a piece of technology that productions like The Mandalorian, Star Trek Strange New Worlds have used. It's basically a 360-degree screen that allows the performers to kind of see the location they're supposed to be in. So instead of a green screen where it's all blank, it actually plays a video so you can kind of see the location. It's interesting. It's cool.
60 camera, which does distort things. Why don't you go look at Dave McKeegan's Sunspot 24-hour time-lapse? The sun doesn't change at all.
More of an egg shaped.
Doesn't change at all. So that's false.
We see things with shadows that should not happen.
False.
Too divergent, a local sun, shadows missing, local light.
Screaming at the Radio says, what frustrates me the most about the final experiment is that it was entirely unnecessary. There are so many less expensive ways to disprove flat Earth, such as traveling from one hemisphere to the other and notice the sky seems to rotate in the opposite direction. Here's the thing, though. You kind of need to do theatrics because these people are rhetorically convinced by that kind of thing. If boring evidence and math was going to convince them, it would have. Humans have something called a proportionality bias, which means we expect big actions to cause big results. So to them, changing the model of the world that they believe in is a big change. So just showing the math would never do it. So you almost need to go to the theatrics of like, we're going to put people on a plane. We're going to fly them to Antarctica because that seems like a big event, which is worthy of changing their worldview. I know that seems silly, and it shouldn't matter, but it does, because human brains are dumb. Human brains are emotional and squishy and paradoxical. So unfortunately, you kind of gotta do stuff like that.
Lighting at the level of the person, casting different shadows at the angle of their feet within the space of 5.
He's, by the way, Dustin Nemos is and so is King Nico. They're shadow experts.
5-6 feet in a circle, you get different directions, almost opposite directions of shadows. There's different things.
Hiccup. Acnin Earth.
Glad to see it there. Where is the camp? That is the mountain in the background, but there's no camp. Exactly. So that doesn't make any sense.
The camp is there.
There is a camp.
We drove from it. We drove from it. It's like 5 miles from there, or 5 kilometers, one or the other. But it's not even difficult to figure out. It's the same mountain, and you're like, oh, we don't see the camp there. Yeah, because it's far away.
There are time anomalies where they didn't really go at the solar midnight.
What?
They're playing with the time zones to pretend like they did.
No, never.
What?
There's no playing with time zones to pretend we did something or didn't do it. We have 24-hour cameras. How do we play with time zones on those cameras, Dustin? You need some sleep, and you need some help.
There are repeating CGI assets, clouds.
Repeating CGI assets. This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And
This is literally the same stuff you used to say, Jaren, like a month ago.
Not associate myself with these people or consider them smart ever again.
I just wish he had a little bit of humble, you know? I wish he had a little bit of to be like, wow, I used to be like this, but it's like he's pretending he wasn't. It's like he's pretending he's never done or said anything like this. Does he really not notice? Does he not notice this is the same exact stuff he's built a career on?
Ever. These are not smart people. They may be skeptics, but they're never going to find truth. They don't understand anything.
And mountains repeating in the background.
Mountains repeating in the background? What are you talking about?
There are camera anomalies, like they wiped the geolocation footage from the cameras.
Who said
Yeah,
that?
Jeranism has deleted stuff from his channel.
What are you talking about?
He started deleting old videos that he claims he no longer stands behind.
There's a bunch of other like smaller unfiltered stuff I haven't even had time to properly digest.
Yeah,
like
I'm just
projections.
I'm just showing your list here with the general deception breakdown. So footprint gate still
General deception breakdown.
And here's the thing that's sad. This is not like these two guys saying this and everybody in the audience is like, nah, I disagree. If you watch it, everybody's agreeing. Yeah, good one. You caught them. Yeah, they're done. Like, why would I want to stay anywhere near this group? I don't want to be called a flat earther. I don't want to be associated with people who can't see reality in front of them.
Stands. The drone gate's been debunked. Vape gate stands. Round studio stands.
Why isn't it round studio gate? Why do some of these get the gate suffix but others don't? I demand an explanation.
Quickly about the round studio. So with some of the footage, especially the 360s, when you use the 360, you can move around anywhere. So I quickly took a glimpse.
Did you also look at my chest cam footage and match it up and see the sun's the exact same? How would that be possible? So I'm in the studio with
Good point. I have to pee real quick, so don't go anywhere while I'm gone. Cher will tell you all about the movie Thriller, A Cruel Picture. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Not allowed. I'm back.
Okay, I'm in the studio with 360.
And if everyone can go look at some of the 360 footage, tell me what you see. You'll, like Dustin just said, you can see, you'll be able to see the sky circling above. Like, you don't see that when looking up. So
that's what you see in any Google Earth image from the Google camera. Like, you guys are so bad. So bad. The whole thing with the snow and the whole thing with the footprints. It's like, do you not understand how video compression works? When you're at a 720p, when you scale down from 1080 or whatever, and you're putting out a smaller file when you render it, it takes like colors and makes them the same for as long as it can so that it doesn't have to adjust them perfectly. So when you see somebody walking over ice and they're not making a footprint, it's just because the ice, they've kept the same color. They're just going to keep it. And how do we know that? Well, then we go look at the 1080 footage and then that's gone. And then you see footprints. But you guys can't even wait till that comes out. It's all about clicks. It's all about who's up first with this information. It's all about dopamine hits. It's all about getting the audience on your side, causing division. You're just falling for traps.
Looks like the sky kind of circles in. So if I might bring up that video and just...
Yeah, why don't you go to Google Earth and see that they do the same thing, because they're taking pictures from street view of a camera. It's like a 360 camera, same thing.
A bit, and show that. But definitely too many gates that are still standing.
Too many gates.
Too many gates.
Walk their way out of, that they've just created more lies and buried themselves to the point that, yes, this whole experiment is now null and void.
Right, so it's null and void. Again, remember why this is, guys. Remember, it's null and void. If we came back and the sun set, there wouldn't be one thing pointed out by flat earthers. Do you realize that? If we went and saw the sunset, they wouldn't have found one bit of this.
No, of course not.
But because it did what they didn't want it to do, they can go in and dig through it and say, oh, we found all these anomalies, so we can now dismiss it. That is not okay. You will go nowhere in life. You will do nothing in life. I refuse to be part of that team. It's time, if you're a flat earther, to go back to the drawing board. Take a step back, humble yourself. And I understand that I am mainly responsible for a lot of this. I know that people that watch me believed it because I did, or believed it because I said that I believed it. I get it. I really feel that once you put something out, let's say that I said that I'm like, what's that guy's name? The fittest flat earther, or the world's most fittest flat earther? Just garbage content. TikTok is garbage human, garbage content. He says like, oh, Prince is the same guy as Cat Williams. I mean, yeah, and 500,000 views for that. By the way, I just have to say, we have to
That just feels like a racist conspiracy theory.
Prepared, guys. If you don't realize that the danger that's coming in this world because of liars is going to get worse and worse, because now people cater to what you
like
believe.
Prince and Cat Williams don't even look alike. Like what?
They're catering their content to what you believe and what you want them to say, and that's all they're doing. And this is why I can't be here anymore, is because I've never done that and I never will. Never. Not going to cater my content, and this is what people do. So this fittest flat earther, let's say he says that, hey, Prince is the same guy as Cat Williams. Okay, so if you start believing that, I do believe that he should be held responsible, right? He told you that. But if he ever comes back and says, oh, you know what, guys, I actually made a mistake, I don't believe that anymore, then if you keep believing it, it's on you. He releases his karmic connection. So I'm here to tell you that...
He looks nothing like Cat Stevens. Cat Stevens has a different name now. I forget what it is, but Cat Stevens doesn't go by Cat Stevens. He goes by Yusuf Islam, I think, is his name now.
If you believe in this...
I like Cat Stevens, so I mentioned that.
Flat Earth because of me.
Why do I have the movie and musical taste of someone 30 years older than me?
You shouldn't. I no longer think that I was correct about the map, and it means that I've got a lot to study. Now, I'm willing to go back and study some more and look into things some more. I want to take down the videos from my channel that are wrong. I want to show where I could have been wrong. Because that's the right...
Possible, Harold Elbelman, possible.
...thing to do. So, imagine everything that's coming at me from every direction, all these channels making videos, everybody pissed off, and it's because I'm being honest. I'm telling the truth. I'm standing up in front of people and saying, I was wrong. You don't hear that from anybody. But you all have a problem with me. Do you understand the problem? I don't give a shit if people don't like the truth. You pretend that you do. You call yourselves truthers, but you don't want the truth. You don't like the truth.
You
want
can't
me to pat you on the back
truth.
and tell you everything that you believe currently is true. This is why people that were friends of mine, Sarah Breslin, a friend of mine, we used to chat on Telegram. But as soon as I said something that she didn't, she found some other group that said what she believed, and she went over there and started trashing me. Not because she needs somebody to pat her back and tell her what she believes is true. So these people do not want
I spend a lot of time with family who liked him. My mom liked him.
Worldview broken. They do not want something coming up that is outside of their model. and they refuse to accept it if it is. So if that's you, you will always be correct. You're fine. Believe in the flat earth. You're fine. Nothing will ever change it. Just believe in it as a religious belief, but get out of the scientific conversation. Get out of it. Let me show you one other thing real quick, and I'm going to go to I got to catch up super chats, I know. This was some chats here. I think it's right about here.
If this was such a big deception and so much money was invested, that there'd be no mistakes. And I'm like, we've gone through NASA. They have trillions, if not unlimited funding, and look at the mistakes they give us.
NASA does not have trillions. They do not have unlimited funding. Their funding is actually not that great right now compared to, like, during the Cold War. Their funding isn't great. I know it sounds like a lot, but, like, a lot of, like, organizations, their expenses are often going to, like, salary, like, keeping the lights on, stuff that, like, is just grinding. Like, you're not gonna get you're just gonna have to pay it constantly, forever, as long as the organization exists, you know? It's just part of the throughput of the organization.
They're supposedly in space and at the International Space Station, and we can see air bubbles floating around on camera.
Not air bubbles.
Right?
Yeah. That was the kind of logic Austin used in the debate. He said basically something like this. I'm paraphrasing from memory, but why would I give my child, whom I love, a shirt?
I don't want to hear that part. Dustin, you need help, my friend. You need help. King Nico, I don't know what you need, but he started the new resistance, you know, the Jesus believer resistance, who is eventually going to believe that Satan is the one that moved the sun around as the light, I guess. I don't know. It's crazy. Crazy to me. Let me see this part here. I want to show you. But this is, this one exposed by, yes. All right, so I want to show you this one here, which is a, where is it? Oh, let me just show you this real quick so I can show you other
Sorry, the boy is attacking me. Buddy, stop!
people that lie to you, because they're everywhere. And they do it.
What did you accomplish? Hi, buddy. Come here. Okay, he refuses to be picked up. He's a menace. He's a menace! Are you Spider-Man?
And they don't even care.
Another pilot proves flat Earth.
Do that thing, man, that keeps you up at night.
Oops.
That thing that bothers you, man.
What happened? Hold on.
Another pilot proves flat Earth.
Do that thing, man, that keeps you up at night.
Come on, buddy.
That thing that bothers you, man, that makes you trip. You
Come
can't
in.
quit thinking about it. You always.
This is Banjo, by the way. Banjo is a liar.
Wake up in the middle of the night, you got a new idea.
Here, attack
Banjo
the
made
puppet.
a video that says another pilot proves flat Earth.
Attack the puppet!
Another pilot proves flat Earth.
Do that thing, man, that keeps you up at night. That thing that bothers you, man.
And notice that that's not the pilot speaking. He just showed a pilot.
Earth.
Do that thing, man, that keeps you
That's
up
just a
at
pilot. That's nothing. That's nothing. Eddie's videos are all lying to you. Why would you accept it? Okay, we've already seen this before. Did you know that the sun, you can go...
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Fretting and wake sleep! Wake up!
So he's showing here that the sun goes behind this pole and blinks out. You can go do that.
Yeah, that's literally how cameras work. That's funny, because that's when you can test, like, in your backyard. You could go outside, and if you have a flagpole or anything that's like that, you know, width that slightly could obscure the sun, you could do this. That's funny.
Do this in your front yard today with the sun. Go take a pole,
Buddy.
set it up, and then take a camera and watch the sun go behind it. But this guy just lies to you.
Buddy.
Because he's too stupid. Okay? He's too stupid.
Up on your
Go to
little
these
perch.
pictures here. He's got of these maps. See, where's the one here? That one's a lie. So I cannot take it anymore. I'm not going to let people that are on my team just tell lies. That's what they do. Now, you might be thinking, well, Jaron, how do you know it's a lie? It's because it is a lie. And you can believe it if you want, but I'm just telling you.
It's interesting because he clearly still doesn't know how to rhetorically defend his positions well. Like, right now he's just saying, because it's a lie, because I know it. Like, he doesn't know how to argue well, because he didn't actually learn anything, except that they have to be wrong, because he was actually on the trip. You know what I mean? His his objections are entirely based on the fact that because he was there, he just has to know it's true, but he doesn't know how to effectively argue that to other flat earthers.
It's a lie. This book here is a lie. Okay? This book, we've told him he's way off on. He's way wrong. Okay? They just lie. Banjo is so full of it, I can't even begin to tell you. Okay, let's go to... I had a couple other ones here. But Banjo is the worst. And they don't care that they lie. They don't really care. Why would they? Oh, yeah, how about this one? Listen to the volume on that, or listen to the sound on this.
Breaking news. In less than 24 hours, technicians have been able to identify the technology used to fake the 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
What?
Technicians. Technicians.
In less than 24 hours, this is Banjo's video where he just put it into an AI to speak to you and tell you lies, and you're okay with it. And you're okay with it. In less than 24 hours, technicians have figured it out.
Breaking news. In less than 24 hours, technicians have been able to...
No technician did that. Some flat earther just said, hey, I've seen a special feature about the Mandalorian on YouTube, about this thing they use. I bet they used that. That's not a technician revealing something. That's some asshole being like, what if they used this?
To identify the technology used to fake the 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Amazon Studios has developed a state-of-the-art virtual production facility known as...
I gotta skip past that part, because, you know, copyright.
Pastor Will Duffy had to fake a 24-hour sun was to take advantage of Amazon and Disney movie-making capacity.
Do they understand how many millions of dollars it costs to run the volume thing, to rent it, to get it set up, to utilize it? Like, it's not a cheap thing. Like, this is cutting-edge technology in the film industry. Like, it only was really first used, like, 5 years ago. This shit is expensive. There's a reason the only studios that really have it are, like, Disney, and I know Paramount has used it, but I don't know if they rented it from someone or if they bought their own.
Combination of movie studio and a real trip to Antarctica.
Look at that. Car barely could go around the corner there.
Capacity.
Watch the car.
A combination of movie studio and a real trip to Antarctica and Hollywood editing process.
It also fails as an explanation, as you can't do multiple camera angles simultaneously. That's true. If you don't know how this works, as we all know, or at least I would hope you know, maybe intuitively, if not literally, parallax exists. So, like, if I move, you know, if all of this stuff moves, it's going to move slightly different relative to the depth versus, you know, your eyes or whatever. So when they shoot on the volume, when the camera moves, the entire image on the screen shifts, so from the camera's perspective, the parallax is correct, optically. However, if you had more than one camera, or even as just the person in the volume thing looking at the screens, everything's going to look like it shifts from your perspective when the camera moves. It'll only look correct from the one camera angle. So you can't have multiple cameras going at once because you would see the surroundings shift perspective as whatever was the key camera moved. Yeah, that's a good point.
Look at the sky.
Will make this movie-making capacity. A combination of movie studio and a real trip to Antarctica and Hollywood editing process will make this fraud almost impossible to be detected.
What? Why would it be impossible to detect? Look at when you're inside there, what you see.
Spread the world far and wide.
These guys aren't smart enough to realize what a movie is. And it's because of people like Banjo lying to you. That's not a real sound clip. Banjo wrote that. Sure, you know that. Sure, you're smart enough to
I am going to show you today.
I don't know if they do know that, Jaren. I think a lot of people who are conspiracy theorists just hear that and go, wow, I can't believe technicians did that.
Emergency landings prove...
Good evening, Bilderberg.
We live on a flat Earth. Hi, my name is Eddie Alencar.
We know who
I am the author of the book 16...
We told you to change it, you never did. You wouldn't do it. You said it was fine. You said, no, I don't mind. I'll just leave it. Okay, whatever you say. Whatever you say. What's this? Oh, is this another one?
Tonight over the Atlantic, going about 600 miles an hour. When I'm on break, we're going to float this little drone.
Oh, no, not that one. Don't watch Banjo, please. Banjo is out of his mind, and the things he says are retarded. Retarded. All right, I'm going to read Super Chats real quick.
Hey, Jaren, since you're not a flat earther anymore, could you stop talking like you're in middle school? Please grow up.
And then I'm going to, but let me give away the prize real quick. So we got people who helped me with the chest cam footage.
Harp Cozian with a 3-stream streak says, moo, trans rights, moo. Not sure why the moo, but okay.
Let me bring that up real quick. I just want to show you. And, one thing I want to show you first. Let me get this first, and then we're going to give that away. I know people might be waiting for that. Where is the, here. Okay, so we're looking at Duffy's 24-hour live stream, or I think he's got 2 parts up. But I want to show you the car leave, just so you can see that it's not a studio. It's so stupid. It's very sad what has happened to this group.
Trans cows deserve rights too. Like the main character from back from the barnyard, back to the barnyard. What was that show? Anyway, it was a male character, but it was a cow, not a bull. That counts, right?
The days of Bob Nodell.
Is it just barnyard? Okay.
The days of Rob Skiba, long gone. Long gone. Okay. So if you notice here, oh, you're not looking. So we're looking here at this, and again, you need to look at this and realize that this is not fake. This is very, very real.
You can't, Jaren, I wish I could talk to him and be like, Jaren, you can't, he's so bad at arguing. You can't just point at it and go, this is real. It's like he's doing the opposite of what he used to do, where he'd look at footage and go, this is obviously fake. But he thinks he can just do the opposite of that, and like as the corollary, he thinks he can just go, this is real, and if he says it desperately enough, they'll believe him. Like, that's not how this works.
Look at it. I was there. What do you think, what kind of studio would this be? In Antarctica.
No amount of you saying it's real is going to beat their personal incredulity.
Ground studio in Antarctica. Oh, look at the moon. The sun is squished, so therefore it's fake. It's a 24-hour camera. Lots of things get demented in their sizes. You can go like this and get the building to change size. But I want you to watch. Oops, went a little bit too far. We're going back this way. Okay. Just want you to watch that little car there as we all get ready to leave. Okay. Oops. So there's the car. We all have to get in the car. We have to get our fucking shit. Go over there. Here we all come. I think that's Austin, maybe. Here comes me. This is not a studio, you fucking dipshits.
I'm sure insulting them is gonna help. Ugh.
I get in the truck, they close the truck.
What happened to tact?
I mean, you guys wrecked everything. And there's people that tell me, you shouldn't have gone, Jaren, you shouldn't have gone. Hold on a second. So you're saying that rather than find out the truth, you would rather believe a lie. That's what you're saying.
Yes! That's why
Jaren,
they're flat earthers, yes!
That you went and showed us what the truth was, we think you shouldn't have gone. You should have stayed home so we didn't know the truth, so we could live in our ignorance. Come on, guy, can you hurry up here? We're in a time crunch here. So there he's closing the back, getting in the car. Now we're going to see it drive away. In the studio. In the Amazon studio. Live. Okay, the reason that we're here is this is on a loop, they call it. It's actually off the loop a little bit, but it's kind of on it. So what happens is this is like a 10-mile or 10-kilometer loop that's near the camp, and we would go out to this other part of it. Now, Dustin Nemos and those guys can't understand that we are away from the other camp. I'll show you where in a second. There goes this car. Now, you tell me if this is a studio. Now, this is all it should take. If you're one of these asshole idiots who think this is fake, you could watch this one thing and go, oh, you're right. It is real. There it goes. Let me fast forward a little bit. There it goes. There it goes. Oh, this is real fake. There it goes. There it goes. So you could have figured out by just where the freaking car went. Watch where the car goes. Oh, but I thought if the car's right there, why can we not see it? Well, because it's too far away now. There it goes. So when you say, where's the camp is right over here. You can see the car. There it goes. Bye. Still see it. Now you can't see it anymore. It's too small, and this is where the camp is. Now these guys think the camp should be right here because they can't get spatial direction.
They think it's like the holodeck. It's closer to the recreation room in that one episode of Star Trek the Animated Series, because the holodeck is three-dimensional, right? They just think that there's walls with video screens, which is more like the recreation room.
Down that you could be over here and the mountain would look the same. It's a big mountain. But you see it's gone. Car's gone. If you think that's a studio, you are a retard. Sorry to tell you, I'm sorry to be rude to you, but it's true. And all of our gear was out here, and all these things, you can find all these cameras, their footage. to think that we have people that call themselves researchers. Eric Dubé, flip-floppity Dubé, says that this was done in a studio. He should be rejected as a flat earther, as a flat earth community leader, whatever you guys call him, guru. He's garbage. He's lying to you. His discoveries or his realizations are false. But people don't care. Again, it's not about true and false in this community. It's about what matches us and what doesn't. If Eric Dubé is saying it's fake, well, that means he's on our side, then we're for him. That's okay. He could say that. But he can't say it's real. Have you seen what's happened to Dave Weiss? Dave Weiss is being destroyed now because people are like, oh, Dave Weiss is standing up for Jaron and Whitsitt, therefore he's a shill.
Also, I want to point out, we are now 2 hours and 17 minutes into this stream. We are an hour and 24 minutes into Jaron's stream, which is in total 5 hours and 44 minutes. We're not going to get through this whole thing. Going to put that out there.
The can of soup footage, the Apollo footage. In the comments, somebody says, "Let's see Dave Weiss defend this. If not, he's one of them." So now think about that. Dave Weiss has to agree that I showed Apollo.
Oh yeah, he spent almost 6 hours going on about this and yelling at other flat earthers.
My soup cup.
Do I know why Jaron calls Eric Dubé flip-floppity Dubé? I do not.
In an ode to my god Apollo.
1.25 speed? Why not? Let's see how it goes.
Apollo, or else he's considered a shill too. How can you not see what's going on? How is that not a cult? How is it not a cult that you can't speak out against the cult? If you do, you will be considered a shill. But guess what? I've got big balls and I don't care. Consider me a shill. I'm wearing the hat.
I don't want to know about your balls, man.
Hat. I'm wearing the shill hat. I don't care. So use me if you need to. If you need to get out, if you feel like, you know what? A lot of this movement is toxic. I've become more hateful, more vengeful. It's all about drama. These guys just want clicks. They don't do videos with good content. Who does good content anymore? I don't watch anybody on YouTube. The flat earthers, they're terrible.
To be clear, there are many really talented, creative people on YouTube. I'm not one of them, but like, there's a lot of them out there.
I watch Austin from Melodome stuff, so I can kind of get an idea.
That just feels like to me when people are like, there are no good movies anymore. It's like, okay, just because you don't like whatever Disney movies or Sony movies are coming out doesn't mean there aren't a huge swath of like independent films or low budget films coming out every year. There's great stuff. You just got to look for it.
Idea of, okay, I see the sun seems pretty physical. Seems like it's there. Seems spherical. but there's really not anybody else that's even worth watching. Who am I going to watch Vibes of Cosmos so he can lie about the sunspots being stars behind the sun? Am I going to these people who just morph the map until it looks somewhat like the moon and tell us that the moon is a map of the Earth? Am I going to watch them? It's constant lies that you accept. The occasional good thing. Occasional. I don't know when this thing comes back. Let me see if it comes back anytime. I don't remember if we're gone for a long time or okay. Go back here. We'll see where it comes from. I don't remember if it comes this way.
There's kind of a weird melancholic, like, Sartre, hell is other people thing going on here, where it's almost like for the first time, through other flat earthers and being on the other side of this, through the gaze of other flat earthers, it's like Jaren is seeing himself for the first time, and he's horrified.
Oops. I think I'm in the blue truck when I come from this way. The blue truck comes around this way, but I think the orange thing comes this way. Let me see where it's at. By the way, it's not even a fun drive. I think was it Will who got sick? Somebody got sick on one of these drives. Where's that car? Where are you, car? Hold on, we'll find it here. Here. Go. Which way it's coming from? There it comes. You see it?
In this case, that's okay. I know I make that joke about that quote and Sartre in general, but genuinely.
I mean, what kind of studio is this? See that car back there? Here it comes.
No Exit, which is the play that's from, at least a BBC version, is available on YouTube, by the way. I'd recommend it. But
I mean, this is what, CGI? What are you going to
also referred to as in camera. Toreador says the Earth is round and I must stream.
Claim here. Or I should show this. Everyone should show. And then if flat earthers were actually truthers, they would all watch me doing this right now, and they would say, "Never mind, it's real. Never mind, that can't be done in a studio." What the hell's doing this sword? Tell me that.
Baba Booey says, I feel like he's only like this so he can continue to be contrarian, contra-contrarian, if you will. He doesn't believe globe Earth either, but he does believe what. But he doesn't believe what all the other flat earthers do either. Yeah, he's basically Sigma mailing. If you know how red pill weirdos define Sigma male. Like, let's say, from the perspective of a flat earther, they would consider globe earthers to be betas, and they think flat earthers are alphas. And it's like Jaren saying, I don't even want to be an alpha anymore. I don't care what any of you alphas think. I'm a Sigma. I promise that made sense. Toreador says, virtue signaling.
I think we went. And then guess what? You can go find the footage of us where we were at the camp.
You appreciate the Harlan Ellison reference? I should be careful. He might sue me.
That's what happens when you watch live.
Sorry, Mr. Ellison.
Video. Or, this is 24 hours of video. It pulls around. We all get out. Back to work. Everybody's checking their streams. And I don't even think I'm on this one. I actually think this is the one where we didn't...
Is he known for that sort of thing? Yeah! He kind of sued James Cameron and the studio that did Terminator because he's a little too dead to sue me. Oh, that's good news. He felt that the script and final product for James Cameron's Terminator was too close to an episode of Outer Limits he did back in the 60s. So he sued them, and they settled out of court. He got a decent amount of money from that, I believe. In fairness, allegedly, James Cameron did say in some interviews that he basically jokingly said, oh yeah, I ripped off a couple of Outer Limits episodes, which, James Cameron, don't say that in interviews if you don't want to be sued by Ellison.
Get on that truck. They left me.
The plot, the beginning parts of the plot are very similar. Basically, they both start with like a future laser battle and stuff. You can think of the opening of Terminator with like the skull being crushed and all the Terminators murdering people in like a desolate wasteland. Opens similarly in the Outer Limits episode, and then two enemy soldiers get time traveled because their laser bolts like hit each other at just the right something, science fiction gobbledygook, and they get sent back in time. One of the soldiers wakes up in like an alleyway in the present, very Terminator-esque. There's plot points that are very like, okay, I can see the parallels. There was definitely some inspiration going on here.
Jerk. By the way, another thing, just so people can hear it. Like,
all sci-fi borrows from other sci-fi. I would agree. I don't think it's enough that it should have been actionable. I feel like it's a case of inspiration. I don't think it's plagiarism. Most of the story is very different, but like there are those beginning elements are reminiscent enough that I get how he would be like a little like, But if that went to trial, I don't think he would have won.
Like, we don't look good if one other person quotes Duffy and saying, "Oh, Duffy did a sermon that lying is okay." Has anybody watched the?
Toreador says, "Chat, I'm trying to find a game to play and I just can't get excited or interested in any games I normally love. Am I depressed? Maybe. That can be a sign of depression, not enjoying the things you used to. But I don't know. I'm not a therapist."
The entire sermon? Has anybody watched it? He's talking about
yeah, the other soldier doesn't appear until the end, and then they like both turn into dust or something. It's been a while since I've watched that.
Let's say somebody comes to my door, a murderer, and says, "Is your wife?"
One of the soldiers are like trained only to be soldiers. They're not robots. They are biological, but they're a soldier caste that only exists to be soldiers, so they don't really understand being just a person.
If home, I want to murder her. If I say no, she's not. That's not inherently bad. That's not a sin. I lied, but it's not. That's what his sermon's about. And you guys can't do it. You guys can only take what somebody else gives you and call it truth and start plastering it all over the internet, start sharing it like crazy when not one of you have watched the sermon. It's disgusting. What do you think? Then they're like, "Oh, look at Duffy. He's out to get flat Earth."
That is true. That upsets me a little bit when they keep taking Will Duffy out of context. Like, you can criticize Will if you want, that's fine, but be honest about it, be genuine about it. No one's above criticism, but at least criticize real things, not a misunderstanding of one of the sermons he gave.
Look what you guys have done to him. You accused him of killing JonBenet Ramsey.
I'm sorry, what? What? Someone accused Will Duffy of killing JonBenet Ramsey? I kinda doubt it. Okay.
Give me a break. So I believe that we are not here yet.
Pantheon Rise of the Fallen? I've never heard of it.
Oh, not this
Is it like a strategy game?
Am I over there? I don't think so. Oops. What happened? Hold on. Where's my go?
I don't know anything. Oh shit, I skipped ahead. I am not familiar with the JonBenet Ramsey claim at all. I have no idea where that came from. I got nothing.
Selves researchers. Eric Dubé, flip-floppity Dubé, says that not Satan.
Sun in the north was the actual sun, but by the time that it had moved around to the south, we were just seeing a reflection. However, if that were the case, then at some point...
You know what game I've been playing lately that I've liked a lot? On the Switch? It's called, like... What is it called? Cemetery Manager or something? Let me look. Graveyard Keeper. That's the name of it. It's an enjoyable game where you're like, it's in, what's the anime where you get sent, like, to another dimension? Isekai? Something like that. Anyway, you get isekai'd into some sort of fantasy medieval realm, and you're forced to become a graveyard keeper, but it's a lot like Stardew. You also grow crops and stuff, and you can, like, take meat from the bodies, and on the down low, sell it as meat to the townspeople. It's pretty good. It's fun so far. Got it on sale.
That time lapse, the sunspots would have mirrored.
It was like $5 or something on sale recently. Yeah, you do autopsies. It's just fun.
Reflections mirror things.
Like EverQuest? That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Well.
So if we were observing both the actual sun and a reflection of the sun at different points during a 24-hour period, the reflected sun would have displayed
Isekai, thank you.
Mirrored sunspots versus the
But that never happened. Okay, so, and also you'll notice that the sun stays the same. With a solar filter, the sun stays the same. So if you're seeing any bending, it's not from the sun. It's from the glare. From the camera. But it's not the sun. The sun is the same. So my whole point here, I just wanted to cover that, is that there's no reason at this point to question any of this. Now, I get that we have to be skeptical. I get that I say don't believe me, don't trust me, do your own research. But you have to, when I say do your own research, I don't mean terribly. Okay? What I mean
said do your own research, I didn't mean like that, idiot! When I said do your own research, I meant agree with me, dipshit! Like, that's effectively what he's saying. Come on, man!
Mean is you actually have to take an open-minded view at it. You can't make the conclusion in your head that it was fake and then try and go and look at things that you then say, oh, now I'm going to pick all these fake things
That's
out.
the entirety of Flat Earth, is having a conclusion first and then looking for evidence of that worldview.
It's just not a good intellectually honest way of doing it. And that's what everybody's done. Everybody's done that. There's enough evidence at this point that you should be able to easily tell, without a doubt. I mean, here's a 360 flight how do you say we didn't go to Antarctica? People still say we went somewhere else. Where would this be? This is Punta Arenas. You know that. You saw us. I did my live stream from there, or did a video from there, my chest cam. Here we go. And this is exactly what you would see. Like, imagine. You've seen a globe before. You've seen a flat Earth map, and you know what happens. Now we're at the bottom of South America. So you can see we get out past the edge of South America, and then we're above water. Okay? And when we're above water, we've got quite a ways to go, maybe an hour of just water. Then all of a sudden we start to see, I remember Dave coming up to me and saying, look at, that's ice. And we start to see ice in the water. Chunks, little things of ice, floating ice. And then we started hitting some shoreline where it's like, oh, the shoreline, you see, look at that.
It's nice that they took so much data that when a flat earther complains something is wrong, they already have the data to show otherwise. The conspiracists keep getting their legs cut off. Yeah, really, again, mad props to all of the people who planned this. Will Duffy, MC Toon, the other people who went. I'm sorry, I forgot the names of everyone. There were a decent number of people. But, like, they came up with some really good preparation, some good tests. Really good work.
Little piece of ice in here. That's ice down there. Oh, you can't see my mouse here. That's ice down there. See those? That's ice, ice, ice. Like, well, there's ice in the ocean here. Keep going. Bigger ice.
Harold Ebbleman, thanks for a 30 stream streak, says 30 streams, woohoo. Also, if the townsfolk are buying meat from Check's Notes, their coroner, they know what they're getting, and that's on them in my books.
Or maybe that's a cloud. I can't really tell that. Okay, it's just water. Where do you think we're going?
Where was the baby?
How do you watch this and then be like, oh, they didn't go? This is all fake. What kind of production do you think was put on?
Over there. Where do you think the baby was?
As you start getting into this area, I started to see some of what I guess I would call that right there, like as part of the ice wall. Kind of
ice, baby. Jesus.
Section. Again, we're going to the peninsula, not...
All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. Ice is back with my brand new edition. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll glow to the extreme. A rock-alike like a vandal. Light of the stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance.
The actual shoreline. Okay, then we get over this kind of spot here. Let's go.
Poison your brain like a poisonous mushroom, deadly. When I play a dope melody, anything less than the best is a felony. Love it, leave it, you better can't play. You better hit the bullseye, the kid don't play. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook, my DJ revolves it. Ice, ice, baby. Doom, 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 doom.
And then this is where you start to see sheets of sea ice. And it's because you're getting closer. There you go. And that's definitely ice. Look, we're entering the continent of Antarctica. Now, if you think it's the outskirts of the Earth, I'm just going to explain to you why we now know the South Pole exists. And I wish that you would know that too, because it changes everything. Okay, we're now flying over the peninsula. You'll see that we go in between ice and water. Go look at a map. Go look at the little fishtail that comes out of Antarctica. That's exactly what you see. It's a little bit of both. You're going back and forth. Again, this dispels any people saying like, oh, why don't you just go travel here on your own? Good luck. Good luck. Have fun with that. Ice, snow, water, ice, water. Okay, and as you get closer to there, then you notice that we run out of the water now. All of a sudden we are on to, oh, this is, I think, right here. This is the wall kind of right here, the last bit of it. You can actually see some there. And as we get up onto the continent, now we're just flying over white blankets of ice.
Welcome back, H. Baird.
Once you get to the interior, it doesn't even snow there, but very, very rarely. Very, very rarely. So now you'll see that we're above, and look at these mountains. I mean, this is nowhere else. There's nowhere else it could be. Okay, these are ice mountains. And I know you guys can't have been there, but I don't think there was a person on the plane that wasn't crying. As crazy as that sounds, this is one of the most beautiful things you'll ever see. And then you get down here, you're pulling in. I mean, this is as real as it gets, and then you land on the ice. This is not a studio. This is real. When you get there, you get off the plane, as you've seen in my chest cam footage. You can go to, oh gosh, what's Mark's name? Mark Herman? Mark Herman. I posted this yesterday on Telegram. There it is. Mark Herman. He posted yesterday this. This is his 360 footage from the arrival at the camp. You cannot look at this and call it fake unless you have either an extra chromosome or some sort of deficiency. Just can't. I saw breath. Oh, I might have vaped. Might have vaped on my way out of there, I'm thinking. The breath thing is so stupid. If you just would have done any research into it, you would have realized, oh, okay, sometimes when there's no moisture in the sky, that it's hard to breathe breath. Do you know that, or hard to see your breath? Did you know that what the humidity is of Antarctica? It's like
2%.
0.03%. It is a desert. This is not snow. There's no precipitation here. It's ice. Now, granted, you drive over the ice enough, it becomes snow. But no snow fell from the ground. I mean, from the sky. Oh, the sun's moving. It must be fake. No, just learn how cameras work. Thank God I got tired of carrying that stupid shit around. Now, you'll notice that as we show up, these people are leaving. Do you see how that works? A plane drops people off, picks people up, takes them out of there. Sav, you see how that works? So, Sav, if we would have come a day early because of the weather the next day, then these people would have had to leave a day early. It's not difficult to figure out, bro. Not difficult. You're just dumb as shit. Might want to give it up.
Crevasses. You can probably put a family car.
You can move around with it, look around. Oh, it's exactly where they said there. Oh, there's that mountain.
That way, for your own safety. Same applies in that direction. The flags over there, the black flags keep away. That's our drinking water, so we want boots on the water that we're going to be drinking. That's all clear.
People had problems with the Chilean camp. We didn't see a Chilean camp over there. See right here where my mouse is? This is the Chilean camp over here. It's kind of far away, but you can see it. That's where they stay. We're at Union Glacier.
Over here, we have a series of buildings. This is a combination of three things. One that's important to you.
So I just find it baffling that as a community of researchers, of skeptics, that we can't reach the right conclusion. That there's still people claiming, and there's Dustin Nemo's claiming that, oh, the questions are getting more. They're revealing themselves more. They're being so defensive that now I believe it more. That they faked it. It's so stupid.
Yeah, the sign made of snow is cute.
These bathrooms are fake. I guess they were in a studio too. So the question becomes, if you think that there's just a studio parked somewhere else, which is what I'm guessing what you must think. You must think there's a studio that we were driving to the studio and then coming back.
I'd honestly be so sad if I went to Antarctica and didn't do something to see penguins. Like, I know that's not what they're there for. They were there to see the 24-hour sun. But if I was going on an Antarctica trip, I'd want to see some penguins. Penguins are adorable.
To the camp, whatever. So what happens to the sun? So you think that the sun sets here? And these people that work there just all know the sun sets? And then what happens when people come every year? You can just type in Union Glacier trips. And what happens when people come every year? So all these videos, I mean, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. You can find people who are at Union Glacier. That's why we were there. Here's a guys going and they skydive. And guess where they land? This is from 2 years ago.
Skydiving over Antarctica is an interesting choice. It's fine. I just wonder why. It'd be beautiful, I'm sure. It'd be a beautiful view, but I don't get skydiving in the first place, I guess.
Oh, look it.
I like having my feet on the ground. I'm not a big fan of heights. And I'm claustrophobic. So airplanes are not a fun time for me.
They land at the same camp that we were at. Go back a little bit. There's the camp. Well, wow, Jaren, that's the same exact camp where you guys were at, wasn't it? Yep, so what, did these guys not see the sunset? Or did they see it set? What happened? That's the camp. It's the same camp. Here's
Would the penguins be there or South America at that time? I don't know. Do they migrate like that? Are they the same penguins? I guess I thought the penguins at the tip of South America were different kinds of penguins than the ones at the South Pole.
The corner that you just
saw.
Or
the ones in Antarctica.
Let's get out at. This is where the little skidoo parked. This is where everybody got out. Oh, you can barely see that? Oh, right so far. That way. Let me move this a little bit this way. I guess I never move it back. Right there. This is where the little...
There are no penguin colonies inland. Sad face.
Planes come in. This is the road that you would go to get out to that halfway point. Everything makes sense. Everything jives. Everything's correct. These are the tents that we were in. They match the tents that I showed you. There's nothing weird about this, other than your inability to accept reality. Okay? Antarctic Midnight Sun. Who's this by? This is 4 months ago. Here comes the sun. This is why we didn't stay at the camp, because it goes behind the mountain like that. Gets extremely cold, sucks, and then it comes back out. So this is why we backed up, went away from that mountain to get our 24-hour footage. You can go here. It doesn't even take me very long. Here's a plane leaving, just like we showed you. Leaves. I have the same video of me standing on that same tarmac, about to get on the same plane. Only this is from...
They're at Union Glacier.
Here we go.
Corridor.
Here's a walkthrough of
which I believe is a private camp that a company runs for stuff like this, where people can pay to go to Antarctica.
360 degrees. This is from 5 years ago. And what do you know? It's the same place. Same place. Looks like this must be at the beginning of the season because you can tell because they only have the guest. I mean, they only have the other tent set up, not the guest yet. My guess is that that's what's happening. This is the first arrival of those people. Here's the thing. Landing.
Sorry, Altered Undying.
Union Glacier.
Altered Undying said, "I got this from my friend who likes penguins. It lights up." That's so cute. That's really adorable. Yeah, I have a Christmas sweater like that that lights up. It's not a penguin, it's other stuff, but that is adorable.
Antarctica 360 degree from 5 years ago. Again, it's the same place. What are we doing? These people are on some mountain or something. What's there? Okay. There's the, oh wait. Oh, that's Mark Herman's. Oh, well, here you go. You can see this. This is Mark. That's Lisbeth, right? We know what's going on here. We can kind of figure it out. So, I just wanted to point out, so to me, at this point, me just showing this, if anybody still questions this, this is why I'm no longer a flat earther. You are incapable of looking at evidence and making a decision. This is not military people. I'm not ex-military like NASA people. Austin is not ex-military. We're regular people, dads, husbands.
Interesting that he's still making excuses. Like, obviously NASA's fake, because they're ex-military people, because if you want to be an astronaut, usually you come out of, like, the Air Force.
It's a real plane. We really flew there. We really got out of the plane. Look around. You want to find me? Where's Sharon? What's Sharon?
Can I imagine Whitsitt in the military? No, that wouldn't go well. I don't get the impression that he takes orders well, and that's kind of a big part of being in the military, is being able to do shit people tell you to do, even if you don't like it. That's true. Some of them are also from the Navy, because there are pilots in the Navy.
And it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. So, I don't want to be part of a community that's going to call me a liar for telling the truth. Who would do that? Who would want to be part of a community that's watching people around them call them every name in the book, and then to see people bring out like old private messages? Can you imagine? So if I'm private messaging somebody from April of this year, then this happens and they're like, oh, now I'm going to put out these private messages from April just because, I don't know, because everyone's calling him a liar, so I might as well put these out as well. It's so vindictive, hateful, vengeful, ridiculous. Not that I care. There's nothing wrong that I did. There's nothing illegal, nothing even deplorable. Just conversations that people want to put out there and show everybody. But they're DMs, they're private messages. Makes a lot of sense. Those kind of great people. So anyway, we get on this car. We're ready to go. It drives us back to camp.
I'm not sure what the messages were. I didn't see those.
Gonna keep going here. Whoops. Guess it doesn't really help you if I'm saying to check those out. And then it's a Mark Herman video. Union Glacier camp. I'm just showing you that there should be no reason. Like at this point, who is still questioning this and why? It's because they have a deep, deep, deep problem.
I'm sorry. I just find this entertaining, watching a former flat earther doing the same kind of frustration that I normally do. Like, if you actually spend your time doing this, you get frustrated at some point, you know? It comes in waves. Most of the time I can look at this from sort of a detached way, because that's just what I like to do, is look at this stuff, try and understand why people believe it, or at least understand what people believe. But every once in a while, the annoyance piles up, and you just want to, you just want to go, why don't you believe? What are you doing? What are you doing? It's kind of fun seeing Jeranism go through it. It's interesting. Toreador says they mentioned Chilean basses nearby. Chile has only two bases. I thought you were talking about Chilean sea bass. No, you meant bases. They mentioned Chilean bases nearby. Chile only has two bases, and one is on an island and is an observatory for wildlife, and one is on the peninsula and in a cluster of bases of US and EU countries. There are penguins probably within 10, 20 miles of the base. There are colonies all over the peninsula. Neat.
And it'll never be fixed for them. Banjo can never come to the conclusion that the 24-hour sun is real. He cannot. Okay? He cannot. Here's a video of the camp here. There's those guys skydiving. Here's the runway from 10 years ago. This is 10 years ago of this plane landing. Here's these guys arriving. So we should be able to figure out, like, oh, there is a Union Glacier camp that, yes, anybody can go.
Electric Brain says, it's like watching a newly deconstructed Christian go through the Bible. I can't believe people actually read this book and think it's real life. Yep, that's relatable. Been there.
Go to. Yes, it's expensive as hell, but you can go there. So, like, anybody who thinks this is fake, I mean, here's what I was thinking of doing. Like, but again, I know how, this is the thing. Flat earthers can never admit when they're wrong. I'm the only one. Only one. Because if I would do something like, I know flat earthers that don't believe in this, in the South Pole. So I would say, let's have each fund our own trip. I'll do a funding, and you guys do a funding, and then whoever is right, the other person pays for their entire trip.
Jaron, most people can't afford a $35,000 trip even with fundraising. Like, that's a pretty absurd ask. I get that that would help, but, like, very expensive to go to Antarctica. I don't think we're getting another one of these anytime soon. As fun as it is, and as interesting as this has been, I don't think another eccentric millionaire is going to fund a bunch of trips to Antarctica again anytime soon.
Okay, and we pay for that for our own pockets. I clearly know there is a South Pole. There must be. There cannot not be. So can we accept that there's a South Pole? No, people will never accept that. Why? Because it goes against the flat Earth. The flat Earth doesn't work with the South Pole. At least not the model that most people believe in. You can go to the dual map, but that doesn't work either because everything rises it the wrong way. Well, at least in Russia and other places, it rises on the wrong side. Rises in the west.
This would be a good basis for a sociology study. I want to go back to school so bad and study, like, sociology or anthropology. Something like that.
Doesn't work.
Nice.
Here's that car we just saw, same car. Here's landing on Union Glacier. Here's a plane coming in. The Boeing again. Is that Jonathan? Oh, no, somebody else.
This is Union Glacier.
Oh, this is a solar eclipse.
December 4th, 2021, 24 footage. You should not have any issue with shadows like this.
Oh, sorry.
When the sun is at the lowest point.
What?
Especially when we can now compare it to footage from 2021 of what seems to be completely random. People who would have had to have part of this if everyone's been faking this. Because remember, anyone can go there to test this out. Like, it's not.
Yeah, anybody can go there, exactly.
Issue with shadows like this when the sun is at the lowest point.
What is he talking about? He said the shadows are. Look at this place. The shadow is. This sun is way over here. That's like the sun being way over here. It's totally different. Oh, why can't you see that?
21 of what seems to be.
Sorry, I don't like these shorts.
I'm aware of
stuff. You'll see that.
Auditing. What?
Who's this one? This is.
If I was gonna do it, I'd want to do it and actually go and have assignments and stuff, because it would drive me crazy that I would learn all that stuff and have nothing to show for it.
Oh, that's great. It shows you the car ride, at least there. And then we... Toon, can you get your camera out of people's face, for God's sakes? Jesus. So we can go back here. Anyway, there's no reason to question this anymore to me. I'm going to read Super Chats, and then we're going to give away the GoPro. And then we'll keep going. But just we'll see if there's anything else here. You can go here yourself. You can go through this, and you should come to the conclusion, oh, okay, it's real. Then go to Jeranism. Jeranism. Go here.
Did Jeranism only become a glober because all the other flat earthers called him one? To be clear, he's still not calling himself a glober. He is not saying the earth is a globe. He's just not calling himself a flat earther. Agnostic might be the best label for him in terms of the shape of the earth currently.
Here. Go down to my live streams. How many people on YouTube have live streams of them in Antarctica? It's like 5. The 5 of us that went. Hit live, and all these are live. We're there live. This is a live video.
That's the red flags if you go past Arctic ice. Can you read that?
Very live.
I sent you a link.
There's the mountain.
We're definitely going for a ride. Tonight, they're going to take us to a new spot. It looks to me like, if you believe what these guys say, who work here.
And they said the sun would just circle.
Orientation at.
Go to another one. Go to here.
I will start mine. Like right as he's ending.
So he wants a new model that'll still allow him to be uniquely intelligent. Yeah, he wants to continue being this. He wants to continue making his living being a, quote, researcher, end quote. Because if he just admitted it's round, then what does he have to do anymore, you know? Then his job's done. Okay, all done.
Sun, you can look at it, it's the same, it matches.
Had a balloon down there. Yeah, but well, you know what? Duffy.
And I kept telling people, this is why I know nobody's watched this stuff, because Dustin Nemos keeps saying, where's the camp? I told people where the camp is. I said the camp is over there. It's near that mountain, but on the right side. Mine's not, I keep wanting to turn it, but it's not 360. Right, so the camp's over here. People are like, we can't see the camp, therefore you guys forgot to set up the tents. That's how stupid people are. They think that we set up the tents and would have forgot that. So stupid. So stupid. Anyway, here's some sunspot observations. I have to get these pictures still. We just were taking pictures of the sun. Oops. You loser.
No, we did do a 24 hour. We just told you that Duffy did a 24 hour.
And we've also explained numerous times why we didn't get the 24-hour cam footage or 24-hour live stream. But it's so funny because this is what you call moving the goalposts. Is there was no talk about doing any live streams. We said we were going there to get video of the 24-hour sun. We did live streams, and people were like, you didn't do enough live streams.
Yeah, I did see the conspiracy theorist in YouTube chat.
You said you didn't do any, I did 4.
We're not playing bingo, but thanks for pointing it out.
It's like, well, okay. But let me show you, just real quick, go to my webcam footage, which is here. Nope, it'll be under videos. Which is here, the most recent video.
Sure.
Only, what is going on with this camera view? Sorry. I'm gonna put it down here.
Close by here, so we gotta take a bus.
So just showing you that you can watch my
Nightmare.
chest cam. You can watch me go in the tent. You can watch me eat. Oh, this is where the Apoyo is. Where's the Where's my? I gotta pay one more time. Watch. Come on, get it. Somewhere right there. This guy showed a video where I showed this. Oh, yeah, right there. Here it comes. Watch right here. I'm gonna do it again. This is how I pay homage to my god. Oh, he even cut it. Wow. Oh, so the person even trimmed the video so it said Apollo. That's crazy. People are nuts.
That's hilarious.
People are nuts. They'll make up things. They'll make up.
We probably could have played bingo, but
video. Oh, maybe that's where they did it. They did it there. All praise be to Apollo. Apollo, the god of all that's good and great, and the moon, and faking stuff. The god of faking the earth and faking the sun, and faking Antarctica. Horseshit. Horseshit. Can you imagine trying to fake this whole thing? It's just insane. You can't even imagine.
For those that don't know, by the way, if you weren't here earlier, the pollo thing means with chicken. Pollo is Spanish for chicken. So they're saying because this cup of noodles says, you know, whatever, noodles with chicken, pollo, they believe it's Apollo, like the moon landing, which they think is fake. So they think with his cup of noodles, he's signaling this is fake, like Apollo, like the Apollo missions.
It would be what's going on here? Oops. There we go. There's us trying to fake it. I do like this part of the video though, because watch McKeegan.
Gotta be careful with that song. That's Mission Impossible's theme.
We already do it. Oh, that's right.
Why would they set up tents when they're basically at a hotel? I believe the tents are for staff. They're not permanent buildings. They're like manufactured buildings, like out buildings like this. And then I believe the tents are for the staff. The guests stay in these things.
Watch him right here.
It's a boar, a pollo equals chicken flavored. Thank you.
Let's go to bed. I got the solar filter and he's kind of just can't go to sleep because he misses it. And Toon trying to sleep over here, hilarious. Just watching him fucking duck his head every 10 seconds. Look at him. Yeah, it's not trying. Just funny. Anyway, imagine trying to fake this. It's just stupid. So I want to get that across before we move on to the next thing. Here's me getting in a plane. I thought we were in a studio.
4 or 5 days. So.
It's temporary because the ice moves. It's temporary because they need to tear it down every year. Like, they aren't allowed to leave stuff there. That's part of the Antarctic Treaty, is, leave only footprints, take only pictures. You literally, even all of the human waste, they have to remove at the end of the season.
We're in a studio, but I got on a La Bamba plane. And you can already see the clouds in the sky, why we're happy we got it the first day. People are blaming that on Satan. Satan did it for us. I believe it. Here's me burning holes with the sun. The so-called sun inside of some sort of a studio is burning holes in the paper. So what we'll do is we'll try again. Makes a lot of sense. It's definitely fake.
That's a pretty good little test to show it's a real sun.
Riding a bike around, definitely fake. Us back in the plane. Us flying home. Look at the sea ice. Anyway, that's all I need to show. And anybody who has questions about the trip, if you're just coming up with nonsense, like some lady said, oh, well, that's Icelandic air, and Icelandic air doesn't fly down there, and you're wrong. I just want you to know, take my word for it, you are wrong. You
there are permanent installations? Ah.
Be wrong. You will never find...
well, I don't think the one at Union Glacier is one of them.
Anything wrong with
Could be wrong, though.
Footage because it's real. Comprende? Capiche? Okay? Just the way it works.
You can't touch this.
It's tell you. GoPro award. Let me show you the... bring this up and bring this up.
Are you sure you're not thinking of the Arctic, by the way? Because, like, the Arctic, I can imagine shifting more, because it's basically just a big ice shelf on the water. Antarctica is an actual continent, so would the ice move that much? Like, on the continent?
Unplugged wheel, yeah, that works. And the wheel, good. All right.
I'm not disagreeing with you, by the way. I'm just trying to understand.
So, as you'll see here, this is the wheel of fun, the wheel of death, the wheel of... You spin right around.
Playing copyrighted music.
All your names will be here if you are somebody who contributed to...
Antarctica has glacial sheets, and the peninsula is one large glacier. Gotcha.
The GoPro funding. Okay, that's everybody. And you should see your name there. Let me show you what you get.
I see. Thanks for letting me know.
So you'll be winning these lens covers. Woo! Anti-fog lens covers. You got the chest cam apparatus. I'm also...
Skip past his little giveaway.
Okay. Just trying to see something we can put on the screen real quick. We saw that one. We saw that one. Let's go videos. Flat soil. Okay, we watched that one. That's not that one. Final experiments in Antarctica. South. Oh, that hasn't happened yet. I guess we could just watch the drone footage again. Hey, thank you very much for the CHF20, whatever that is. Thank you, appreciate it. Upside down guys here. Low microphone volume. Has it been low the whole time? Hope I don't. Okay, I'm gonna go up a little bit. Hopefully that's better. Thank you very much though. You are mopped, I believe. I didn't mean to sound rude at Jeranism. I wish you the best, dude, sincerely. I'm not sure what did you say that okay. As someone who recently realized they were wrong and changed their opinion, religious cult, I'm super impressed by your pursuit of truth. Keep it up. I think we should just accept reality when it's, again, the problem is that I've got people on my side saying it was Satan. I was tricked by Satan. Satan flew in the sky as a ball of light. At which point, I just got to throw up my hands and be like, what are you going to do? I mean, Mr. Tracy, $2, thank you very much. Globe support sent by Toon. Lee Fuller at Jeranism. Can I ask you an honest question that will probably make your point? Sure, but you didn't do that. Thank you very much to Lee Fuller. Nedzins Dejong. I'm a Glober, and I want to say that I have so much respect for you for doing this. It's not easy to put yourself out there like this after 10 years. You know who your true friends are now and who aren't. Yeah, I don't have very many. It's like I can count them on one or two hands. So obviously doing this for 10 years didn't mean anything. It really didn't. It was a waste of my time. It was a waste of my efforts. It was a waste of my brain power of putting up with nonsense, of helping people. Think how many people I've helped that message me every day on Telegram. Where's this link? Can I get this video? Can I get this? Can I get that? Helping them all the time. And then in one instant, they'll turn on you for telling the truth, for being honest.
That's very sad. Like, I get that, Jeranism has culpability here. He did willingly get into this, and he's benefited a lot from it. Like, let's not pretend he hasn't made money off of this. But on a level, I am incredibly sad for him. He had so many people around him that he considered friends, colleagues, casual acquaintances that suddenly hate his guts and think he's an enemy and are calling him a liar. What a nightmare. Sad.
Chris Mars, thank you, Jaren. You and Austin sent me a 2-year and a couple $1,000 journey through Be a Ring Ass Old Books and some great trips with a few new cameras. Learned a lot and will continue to do so. All right, Chris. Awesome. If I understood that. Eclipse Chris says globe is the only map that works for all distances. The globe certainly describes the sky perfectly, at least to me. Again, I said that to people and they disagree. But to me it does. Let me show you one thing here. That I want to show you the site, and I'll put it in the t.me/Jeranism links where I usually put all my links. If you find the site called... I keep losing it. Hey, where is it? Hold on one second. Keep losing this 1 second. It's not listed as the right thing on here. What's that? Hold on, I'll find it. Oh, I did send it to. I know where it's at. I have to find it there. Oh man, the people just lying, and they get off on it. Now drop a bomb in the chat if I'm about to be a liar.
Peace and love, and welcome back, everybody. I have with me.
Okay, so we're gonna go towards the end of this. Oops, I didn't mean to play.
Peace and love, because listen, our ancestors built pyramids, my sister, and they aligned them up with Orion. And they've been making that. So unless you want to misrepresent what I'm saying, I don't think you're a dishonest person. So what I was saying was, a sun don't have to come into your view because you're actually.
I'm going to skip this section because that guy's microphone is real hard to listen to. So I'm going to skip to when he starts reading comments.
Are we offline?
Gillis Filler says, don't forget the squirrels that threw nuts at his head this morning and the suburban mom who bought up the last 2 Costco rotisserie chickens while staring directly into his eyes.
I think it's because there's too many chats in there. Too many super chats or something. Won't let me bring that up. Oh, there we go. Pop-up chat. All right, we got it. We're back. Is it the same one? Hold on, let me try this. Go down. And this guy. Does that show up on the screen? Shit. One second, I gotta put this URL in again. Copy URL. Copy. Keeps kicking me out of here. See without chat. Properties. Keep saying without chat. Yes. Okay. Properties. And this one. Let's see if we can get any better here. Go. Okay. Let's try this now. And we're going to go to live chat. All right. Are we back? Okay. Wow. Okay. We've got this one. Good. Let's move it up. Up there.
Jesus.
NASA hush money. New Glenn. There, same people who claim that. Okay, which Stephen Hawking experiment are you referring to? I want to check into it. So, Stephen Hawking in the Genius series faked the helicopter going behind the wall of water at 6 miles. My guess is, if I had to guess why they faked it, it's because they weren't smart enough to take the observer's height into account. So they probably went out there and thought that a helicopter would hide behind 6 miles worth of water because it's supposed to be 24 feet, but they have a 3-foot telescope. So it's only 10 feet of hidden curve, so they can't hide a helicopter behind that, so they faked it. Literally, it is
possible they also may have just not wanted to rent an actual helicopter.
100% CGI faked. It's provable.
Because I've seen the footage he's talking about. It does come across as very strange. It looks like they didn't actually do it, but
just a theory. You're so spot on, Jaren. These words need to be spread far and wide, and every flat earther know this. There is a big community of goober truthers.
Glober truther.
I'm a flat earther since 2015. I was never 100% die on the hill, but with the experiment, I'm 50%.
Cthulhu Flower with a 10-stream streak says, Jaren knew where he was and knows what he saw. I do feel sympathy for the fact those thought would be friends and help him to understand the truth of what he saw, instead turned on him, calling him a liar, which he knows itself is a lie. Yeah. Fortunate. Phyllis Filler says they couldn't rent a helicopter. Polte has them all booked.
Yes, there's a 100% 24-hour sun, but what about ISS and stuff? Well, I mean, I have to look at. I mean, again, I saw the ISS cross the sun and the moon, so I mean, it's hard for me to imagine there's people in there. It seems like that it's faked enough times that I've got questions about it. But I'm now open to, I'm now open to that possibility. But again, it's I'm just gonna look at each thing. That's kind of what the radio show is gonna be about. That's kind of what this show is gonna be about. Is going through that. Okay, we read that one. This one. You're onto something here. Now think of how an astronaut on the ISS would feel the first humans set foot on the moon and people shout fake. It's different. Again, I mean, to me, it's just different.
We're never going to get there. We're never going to get there. He's an asymptote of getting to the truth. He just gets infinitely closer, but never actually gets there. It's different. No, it's not. Literally not. Actually, it is different in that it would be harder to fake a moon landing than fake what you did, but whatever.
In fact, I still believe the moon landing was fake. That's without question. But again, could I be wrong about it?
That is without question. He just said it's without question.
Said that I can't be wrong. I could be wrong. But there's a big difference between...
Then it's not without question, is it, Jaren?
On camera, being displayed on a CRT screen. This is 1969. There was no reason to do that. You could have... They had baseball games. You know, you could watch the Olympics. So they could pipe feeds from telecasts to people's TVs. But NASA said, no. news stations.
He's doing the same thing. He's literally going from criticizing flat earthers for baseless speculation about what they consider irregularities, and here he is, pivoting to pointing to irregularities that he doesn't understand and saying they're suspicious about the moon landing. He's doing the same fucking thing.
You need to come to NASA and film off our CRT screen. I mean, that's what you would do in deception. It wouldn't be how you would do it. So again, I'm open to being wrong about that, especially now that I realize, okay, so I wasn't right about my opinion about the Earth. As far as it having a 24-hour sun, I thought it didn't exist. The evidence led me to there. I saw it for myself, and it was not faked and could not have been faked. So I always doubted your honesty. Shoot, gosh darn it, this thing's going to be a nightmare. Sorry, I can't, it won't let me read that way. Man, how am I going to figure out where I was at? Patricia. Here we go. I've always doubted your honesty. It was nice to see myself proven wrong and to see you're actually genuine. Hope you continue making your own observations and come to even more honest conclusions. Well, I think I've been honest the whole time. Now, I get that some people might look back and say, well, no, but I believe what happens is that you get jaded with the evidence. For instance, I'll give an example. If I go looking for north-south circumnavigation.
What kind of grift is Jeranism going to pivot to if not flat Earth? Other conspiracy theories? He's still going to investigate the shape of the Earth, I'm guessing. He'll probably take some shots at other flat earthers from time to time to get attention. But probably just other conspiracy theories. He's still clearly a moon landing denier, so he might still deny space is fake. I don't know. I don't know. Hollow Earth, maybe, something like that.
Because I believe in the flat Earth and I believe in the AE model, then I'm going to look at that and I'm going to find Sir Ranulph Fiennes.
I miss Stephen Christ.
And I'm going to go search him on the internet and see that he's in court admitting to faking accidents. That's true. So if you are a believer in the AE map, so you believe that there's nobody who can circumnavigate north-south, and then you see that he's lied, so I'm able to dismiss that and say, no, I don't believe him because he lied in court. He stood up and said that he's faked accidents, so therefore I don't believe that he circumnavigated. Well, now my opinion is going to be a little bit different. If I now don't think that the AE map is possible, then I'm going to look at his story a little bit closer. So you see, like, that's not me being dishonest. That's me having a bias in research, which is what you shouldn't have, but we know humans all have bias no matter who you are. There's no scientist that doesn't have a bias. That would be insane. Pole and south, pole and north, it's globe. Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at, is that, unless somebody can explain it. Now, I know some people say there's a north-south thing. Like I said, it doesn't work.
No idea, Avalon of Babylon. H-Baird says a preview of his next video.
The dual pole flat model. It would cause sunrises in the west for part of the world. $4.99, thank you very much to Life Matrix.
Let's not go to Flat Earth YouTube. 'Tis a silly place.
Decoding the shape of the realm, experienced too much with reality shifts, Mandela, to show it's beyond a physical reality. Thanks. Okay, I'm not the only one. Okay. Maybe there'll be a couple people go with me that just...
You ever just... Nope, shut up, Hannah.
Hey, and it's just, I don't want to be in that group anymore. I don't want to be part of that group. By the way, like, nobody got better at debating. Debating was, I mean, I ran a debate show where people started questioning if I was doing it on purpose. I'm like, no, just flat earthers are not very good at debating. They're not me doing it on purpose. LaQuay from Lukey Lou, 20 Australian, says, Jaren, I love you, but have you heard of this one? What people think of me is none of my business. Those people are a very small minority, and you are giving them the majority of power by being resentful and emotionally reactive. Yeah, but it's just not true. What do you mean that go search my name on YouTube. So what do you mean? They're a very small minority. What are you talking about? They're everybody that's making videos and all of their audience.
How is it, Stromboli? I heard it was terrible.
So that's not a very small minority. Hey, dude, what's up? $5. Thank you very much. Lori Letiao. There is a phrase in the Bible that perfectly describes this denialism. If they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded through one rose from the dead. Okay, we've got... And the other thing, I mean, you'll notice it so far. I mean, you notice any of these names as normal people watching my show? It doesn't look like it, right? So those people have already bowed out. They're like, I'm out. I don't know what to do with it. I get it. It's each their own. If Patricia Steer leaves Flat Earth, then will the friend zone drag Mark Sargent out of Flat Earth? Patricia Steer is back.
Is Patricia back? Oh my God. Patricia Steer's old school Flat Earther from like 2015, 2016. She got pushed out of the community because they kept like transvestigating her. She's not trans, she's cis as far as I know. Not that it would matter. But, you know, they'd do the transvestigation thing. They'd claim she's part of the CIA because, you know, at the end of Patricia is CIA. Therefore, she's a CIA asset. All sorts of conspiracy bullshit. Can't believe she's back, if she is.
She just went away because she was sad at what she saw Whitson and I go through. It doesn't make sense to people, and people should look at that and be like, wait a second, here's two guys that have been here for a long time, and that quickly, the whole community just trash it. You should see some of these comment sections and some of these. It's disgusting. Facebook posts. It's like people have no respect at all. And it's very easy just to be in your armchair quarterback and be like, fake, everything's fake.
Didn't one of her co-hosts create a really creepy montage video of her beauty? Yeah, I believe that was Mark Sargent. Mark Sargent, I'm not going to say, I don't know his personal feelings. Let me put it this way. In the documentary Behind the Curve, the documentary, at minimum, is edited in a way that implies that Mark Sargent might have a crush on Patricia Steere. But I don't know if that's really the case. But it certainly looked like it in the documentary. But documentaries can be misleading. So I'm not going to say that's definitely true. That's something they could have put in the editing, but...
That's why I don't have to worry about it. It's easier. If the globe predictions come true and Flat Earth predictions doesn't, what does that tell you? The globe is reality, Jaren. You know it. Come back to reality. Thank you, Eclipsis Chris. Like I said, I still have some issues I've got to work out, but the flat map doesn't work for me. And again, I could start believing in refracted, bend-around dome suns, and what they call it, dome refraction. I can let people make up new words, and it's fine. Dave McKeegan says, Stephen Alonso always correctly predicts the lottery numbers the day of the draw. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I predicted the sunspots exactly as where they were. It's crazy. Dome refraction. Wouldn't you need to have a refractive... Wouldn't you need the refractive reflective properties of the dome, the shape, and the exact dimensions to be able to claim how it reflects? Stephen Alonso already knows it. So what shape is the Earth? You're so close. I don't think I'll go there yet, but I would say that...
I don't think I'll go there yet.
Again, choosing teams, picking sides, I would say right now, clearly, the evidence to me tells me that the sun is only explained through a sphere Earth. So, again, the ground, I've measured flat and level. Can that work on a sphere Earth? It seems like it might. I just have to work through it. Thanks for the shout-out. Journal of... Oh, there we go. Here he is. And giving everyone a demo of the Firmament Trackers Flat Earth app, academic web version. We believe your trip was on
Flat Earth.
On their panel.
Is that going to be competing with David Weiss's?
No, they just put something like this on top of this snow plower here.
Okay. If you guys didn't to the right, that's why things displaced to the left, because they're already going down, and you won't play it again. It's just blatant, and he blames it on me. Oh, that's stupid. I never said.
No, they just put something like this on top of this snow plower here, tractor, and have it running on the...
Sorry. There we go.
Stupid. That's Jera. I don't know.
So he just throws it at me. That the sun simulator is going to drag around this. I mean, the snowblower is going to drag around the sun simulator, and he's like, "That's stupid. That's Jaren."
I would say that.
Have you mentioned anything like that, or what was your exact?
Of course not. They just put something like this on top of this snow plower here, tractor, and have it running on the horizon. For.
I believe Patricia Steere left the Flat Earth community but never stopped believing. Her YouTube has recent uploads of old Flat Earth Google Hangouts. Yeah, I was never under the impression... I'm sorry if I explained that. She left the Flat Earth community in the sense that she, left these public online spaces. She did not stop believing in Flat Earth, to my knowledge. I should have expressed that better. I apologize.
In 2, 3, 4 miles, I have the camera guys there.
Think about what we've returned as far as footage, and people calling fake. And this guy, this genius, thought that they'd be able to fake it by dragging it around on a fucking snowblower. You can't be that dumb.
I'm not entirely sure, because I thought about this, and I understand that there are sun simulator, patents out there, but how the sun...
That's not what a sun simulator is. It doesn't mean it's up in the sky and it's like a ball of, it's not nuclear open. They're talking about another kind of reactor that's closed off. Whatever. Toreadora says, that's a Case quad track. The tractor is $600,000. I can't imagine how they delivered that sort of thing being a dock or a very large airport. It weighs 80 tons. Almost certainly a plane of some kind brought it.
Simulator would be very difficult for me to comprehend, because not that I'm trying to put words into your mouth, but I've heard some people say that you have said that you think the sun simulator is going to be dragged by a snowmobile and or a helicopter or something like this. Have you mentioned anything like that, or what was your exact?
Of course not. I have it displayed here. The Russians did. If I were in my stream, I would show you. All right, that stuff is old. It's not new, and the Soviets did it. Actually, you can. Well, I can send the link to you later.
That you have said that
Won't play it again. It's just blatant. And he blames it on me. Oh, that's stupid. I never said that. That's Jaren. I said it? No, sir, you said it. Why would I be talking about a sun simulator on a snowblower? And then here's the funny thing. The next week he came back. He said, okay, I didn't mean a snowblower. I meant one of these. And he showed a military tank. So he switched it to a military tank. So military tanks drug the sun. The sun that you guys saw in that video was just on a military tank being drug around the horizon at 3 miles away. And people listen to this joker. Get a life, Banjo.
Yeesh.
Get a life. By the way, also, Banjo won the award for, I just saw it, worst voice, Banjo. Way to go. You won that as well. And he won another award. We'll get there eventually.
Jeranism needs to grow the fuck up. That's my thing. Whatever shape he thinks the Earth is, he needs to stop acting like a 12-year-old boy. Grow up, man. Grow the fuck up. What are you doing?
Yeah, he won another one. Let's go with... Oh, yeah.
Am I crazy, or are a ton of online personalities absolutely stuck in, like, adolescence mentally? Scary stuff. Like, I can be silly. I don't take this, like, I like this job and I'm being entertaining, so I'm silly, but, like, Jesus Christ, be an adult. What are you doing?
Absolutely annoying and not nearly as smart as
Stop
they think
just
they are.
insulting people when you don't like them. Stop just, like, pointing out the way they look. Stop making fun of their voice. This is pathetic.
Won that award. Absolutely annoying. Not nearly as smart as they think they are. That goes to the fittest flat earther, who has some of the most garbage content I've ever seen in my life, and I cannot believe they get views, and you guys should be ashamed of yourselves for watching him. It is just horrendous. If you haven't seen him yet, you could just find any video of him saying that certain people are other people. I don't know what the hell's going on. You can't really think that.
Candace Owens just declared dinosaurs are fake and gay. Yeah, I think I was going to use that clip on next Tinfoil, I think.
He does?
Oh, my eyes hurt. My makeup's getting in them. I just want to look pretty.
Somebody tell me,
why
really
can't I be pretty?
think those things? Can't stand. It's just lie. It's just, why are we doing that? Don't do that. You have to know that these people are very, very willing to believe things like that. So just don't do it. Let me see if we got anything from him here. Can you guys see what he's seeing? You see Banjo. Sorry about that. My bad. What is this? No, here we go. Let's just watch one of his videos. Wait, maybe he doesn't have any. That's weird. I don't know why I searched his name and nothing comes up. Did he get kicked off? Might have got kicked off. I'm not going to say that would be a bad thing. Fittest Flat Earther. Oh, 2.0, 3.0. Let's go with this one. Oh, he was getting like 500,000 views on. Oh, yeah, he's still getting them. 250,000 views on this one. Let's see.
Aw, poor Jim Carrey. He thinks no one knows him. Well, I know you, Jim. I know you better than you think anyone else does. I see you, Jim. Don't worry. I see you. I see you through all of it.
He says he's Joe Biden. Glad we picked him.
Thinks Jim Carrey's Joe Biden?
Being fully honest.
You know his image is frozen? Other people can't see what he's saying.
A polar projection by people who hadn't yet been south of the equator. So, same thing with Samuel Rowbotham, same thing with Lady Blunt. I think none of those people ever went past the equator. So, they've never even been to the south. You know what's crazy is I've been further south now than I've been north. I was further south in Punta Arenas than I'd been north. That's crazy. You see that light behind me going off? Oh, you can't see it behind me. It means the ISS is going by. See right there. Where's that? Somebody, I don't know who, I got to find out. I would like to think him. I don't remember. It was years ago. Somebody bought this thing called ISS. Oh, you can't see it high enough. Sorry. ISS something. I don't know. And this little light behind me starts flashing crazy colors, and then I can go outside and see the ISS. Anyway. Let me get back here. Right. Okay. All right. So you need to think twice, because that's what they say. So if your job is education, then you should educate people when they're incorrect about something. So if you see the Flat Earth movement getting as big as it is, then educate them. Show them. You have money. Tons of money.
Anyone suggested that maybe the South Pole is real, but the North Pole is fake? No, I've not seen that one. In fairness, there's a lot of Flat Earth people out there online, so I might have missed it, but I didn't see that from anyone.
You can't expect... And then you got these guys gaslighting flat earthers being like, well, where's your model? Where's this? Why don't you have this? And they're like, well, we don't have any money. We don't, you guys discovered everything with money. It took government money to do everything. Map every coastline, to explore the world, took government money. So to expect flat earthers just to have that readily available. And you might say, well, Jaron, you're asking them to, no, I'm not asking them that they have to have everything ready. I'm telling them, step back until you do. That's all I'm saying. So.
If the North Pole is fake, then where do Santa and Jesus live? In our hearts. Just like Kal-El.
Okay, my wife is ready. I'm going to skedaddle. Have no fear. I want people to recognize that you can, if you reach out to me if you need to. Let's put it that way. And then please keep watching the show on Fridays, and look out for a radio station coming soon where should be an app, should be a website, and we can just do, I'm going to have a nice schedule and I want to do a nightly show, an hour a night. I think it would be fun, kind of a recap of the news, and then also digging into some of these subjects a little bit deeper and helping people kind of see things my way, I guess. But I feel, like I said, when it comes down to what I saw, it could only be explained right now on a sphere, and the sphere explains it perfectly. And it also leads me to the conclusion that a South Pole exists. It was about, again, if 1 degree each 69 miles, then it would be, so what would that be? So we were at 3515, so then it would go 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So we're talking about 10 steps of 69 miles, about 690 miles. And if I look it up, I was 690 miles from the pole. So it works perfectly, and it can't be anything else, or else the world is a paradox. Can't be anything else. If I went towards the south and the sun lowered, none of that works. It's not the way the life works. So just using logic and experience, without a GPS, I could find the South Pole from where I was. And I had to think about that a couple times to say, am I wrong about that? And the answer is no. Granted, it's a little far-fetched by myself, and I'm not going to be traveling in the snow, but I'm just saying that the
Benekagami says, you mentioned you have an alcoholic gene in the past, but the truth might be that it's epigenetic instead. It recently has been discovered that trauma can literally change how your body processes your DNA, and these epigenetics can be passed to your children, explaining why children of Holocaust survivors born after the Holocaust were literally born with PTSD. There's no telling how many heritable mental illnesses like addiction are actually literal generational trauma. Well, fun. Toreador says, Kal-El, also famous resident of the North Pole region. That's why I went there, yes.
idea of it certainly works. And you would get close, right? Because would you really be able to find the spot where the sun is, if you had a tool for it, if you had an astrolabe or whatever they call it, you know what I'm talking about. I want to say Sanskrit. What is the thing called? Anyway, theodolite? No. Transit. I don't know what I'm looking for. The thing that measures angles. Anyway, if you had that, then you could figure out, you'd have to sit around for a day, watch the sun, figure out where the lowest point is, and then head that direction. And then the sun would rope around you, and the next day you just keep following that same direction that it's the lowest. You'd eventually get to a place where you're like, I can't even tell which way is the lowest anymore. And then you would get a little bit closer, and when the sun balanced out, you know you're at the South Pole. And so if a South Pole exists, then any kind of flat map is going to be real difficult to explain, especially if you have counter-rotating stars above each pole. So these are the things that we need to figure out. That's why I really want to find it. I know there's flat earthers out there who don't believe the South Pole exists. So if we can do a deal where, again, we both fund our own trip, I'll go with you, and whoever's right, the other person pays for that.
Does he really think he's going to get people to give him money for another trip? Like, Jaren, the flat earthers are against you now. They're not going to give you tens of thousands of dollars. It'd be great if I was wrong. It really would. I wouldn't mind if he went back down. Seemed to have done him some good this time, but like, I think he's delusional if he thinks he just has like a blank check now to go and do this again. Ever?
That trip. So if somebody is interested in that bet, I don't think any flat earthers would take that bet because they know that it doesn't exist, that it does exist. So that's where I'm starting to like, okay, do these guys really believe what they do, what they say they do? I really believe that the sun set. That's why I went down there and thought it would, I really believe that. It wasn't I was just saying words. I really believe that. Now I really believe that the South Pole exists. So I've talked to somebody who said they were there when I was down there. I talked to many people who said they worked down there. So to me, now I have to believe that some people down there are lying to me, but other people were really working at, no, it doesn't make any sense. If Union Glacier Camp exists at 80 degrees south, then there is probably 99% accuracy that the South Pole exists at 90 degrees south or 90 degrees. And I don't think you can really argue with that. If you were there, especially you were at a place where you could understand how the sky works, you could understand how the sun works. You watched the sun follow you from Punta Arenas. It's the same sun marks or same sunspots, same size as it went around you. The only thing it did is it was a little colder when it was in the south. Why would that be? Because it's further. The lower on the horizon, the further it is, the higher up. So at the 35 would be the highest. That's when it was the nicest part of the day, which was noon. And if I would have walked towards the south for 10 steps of 69 miles, I would have been at the pole. And if there's a pole and a North Pole, it'd be real tough to explain on anything other than a sphere. All right, much love to you guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Sorry the show was a little bit long, a little bit discombobulated, but I will be with you soon. Looking forward to it. You can become a VIP if you want. VIP is at wap.com/Jeranism. We have first and third Saturdays at noon. We get together. If I can find any member of the community that wants to join us, we will. Otherwise, it'll just be me and you guys. But we also have a Telegram group, a crypto group that meets on Friday nights, the first Friday of every month. And there's some other little goodies in there too. And that's the VIP. If you want to support the show, they're on the screen, or they were. $Jeranism at Cash App. And that's about it. I look forward to the radio station, and catch me next week, Friday, right here, 3 p.m. Pacific, as we have episode 2 of FU. That is Friday Unplugged. Much love to you guys.
Oh, so that's it. That's Jeranism. No longer a flat earther, not a round earther either, but it's something. Something. Very, very curious to see where he goes from here, and I'm sure we'll check in on him now and again, and check in on the rest of the flat earth community as they deal with his defection. Halted Undying says, I love how his solution to flat earth is to take everyone to the South Pole. It worked for him! Who would play Skeletor? Frank Langella. Frank Langella was the best Skeletor. He was so good. He deserved better. Deserved a better movie. So yeah, I think that's about it. Wonder who we're gonna raid on Twitch. So thank you everyone for hanging out. I appreciate it muchly. Tomorrow, what are we gonna do? We're probably gonna do either VHS Vault or Public Domania. Either way, we'll be watching probably a movie or some clips, stuff like that. So it should be fun. Last couple days, today included, we've been doing Conspiracy, so I think we need a break from it, and yeah, should be good. Love you too, Mr. Blast. Tomorrow, like I said, the boy is getting his testicles snipped. He is getting fixed, so I have to get up early to go take him to the vet for that and his vaccinations and everything. So I'm not sure what time stream will be tomorrow. It might end up being a little early, might not, just depends. So yeah, I think that's about it. Let's see. VC Archives is doing Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine rules. So that's a solid raid. Alright, have a great night, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow, and have an excellent evening. Do 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 boop 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 boop. Have a good night. I'll see you later.